everyone, the following video is a recording from our Artist Feedback AMA session featuring landscape and travel photography. This session was held in the MetaJungle Discord on April 7th and hosted by talented photographers Mike Schmidt and Nicole Sharma. We want to thank Mike and Nicole for their time in reviewing 12 different NFT collections, as well as thanking all those who were able to attend and the artists who submitted their work for feedback. We hope you find this useful, and with that, let's get into it.
I think it's time we can start. So today I have a really special guest. We have Nicole Sharma, and he's an amazing landscape photographer. I'm looking at his work all day today, and I went to his website, and he's been to like 40 different countries where he's photographed. So he's got a lot of experience and like 50 plus awards, and including a 2012 National Geographic Award, top 50 people that applied from the world, and he was among one of two Indian photographers that were part of that top 50. So that's really big for him, and he's also been the first place winner in ViewBug. So yeah, just want to introduce what he's done and some of the stuff that he's accomplished. And we went over some of the work before this, and I really love the way he can break down an image and compositions and everything like that. So yeah, so I'd love to start sharing my screen and get into it, and I appreciate your time, Nicole, that you're here to help out some other artists today. So it'll be a really good session. We have a lot of beautiful submissions this week. I say that a lot of weeks, but this week there's just a lot of really nice eye candy landscapes for everyone to really enjoy. So I appreciate all the artists that submitted as well. So I'm gonna go and jump and share my screen now. How's that? Can everyone see?
Yes.
All right, great. So the first project we'll talk about is the Veil of Eminence, and this is by Aaron Hegden. And this is a collection that's over the span of 7 years. So it's 9 one-of-one photographs of Tea Monastery, which is a Tibetan Buddhist monastery in uh, Himachal Pradesh. How you say it, India? Like I said, captured over 7 years, 2016 to 2022. So I really respect when people who put that much time and effort into their work. It really shows passion. So I've tried to show. I have tried to showcase the monastery in different angles, different seasons, lighting conditions, using different sky elements, etc. As a photographer, I believe that every shot must be confiscated with immense love and passion. And while creating these pictures, I tried to envision a sense of tranquility and euphony in the surrounding ambiance, which made me feel ease and content. For me, these photographs depict a new dawn with an array of hope, giving power and vigor to the seemingly impossible things in life. So he has a roadmap. It says, as a full-time photographer and educator, he conducts yearly astrophotography workshops, and 2 seats will be sponsored from the funds received, and 20% will be used to collect from fellow community. So let's take a look. So all these images are of the same monastery, like over the course of 7 years, shot in all different lighting conditions, and it's really interesting to see the same place photographed over and over here. And there's a lot of beautiful shots here. My first impression of the collection was that I would enjoy it. I think I would enjoy the collection rather than 9 as actually 8. There's 2 snow shots, right? There's the snow shot here and the snow shot here. And if we open up the one that I would keep, I really enjoy this one a lot. It's very, very beautifully minimal, and the foreground is not distracting. I think it adds to it. These elements in the foreground, and the lighting is really beautiful, and just the layers are just gorgeous. Colors, layers, everything. So this would be this image here would probably be the only image that I would probably cut from the collection if I was to to be critical on the work. And so it's further away. There's some distracting elements, and I'd like for Nicole, if you want to talk a little bit about why you think the other image is more powerful than this one, and what's going on in the composition here that didn't quite draw the attention as some of the others.
Well, my frankly speaking, I love the whole collection, because I'd been to that place many times and I know that place personally as well. Well, if you really talk about this one as well, I personally feel as compared to other pictures, he has done an amazing job. This one is a little bit distracting, these branches that are coming, very heavy on the subject as well, like above the clouds as well, and the shadows down there. It's little bit distracting as well. And then there is a red bird, here as well, which is also creating a diversion of your eye, diversion of your attention. If the subject is the monastery, then definitely, well, his idea, I think his idea was to create a frame in the frame, which is normally a compositional factor we apply in the landscape photography to both the branches on the right and the left side, and we try to create it with a frame in the frame. But yeah, as you said, this picture, if it goes, out of the collection, then eight would be really amazing, and the nice eight pieces,
Exactly. So one that I particularly like, I really like some of this. I like the simple ones like this. I really love this golden hour shot. There's a really beautiful depiction of it because I could see it in such clarity, all the white buildings and love the reds and just the tones all throughout this. And I think this one was like really well done. That would probably like one of my favorites. And um,
It's a beautiful
yeah,
one. It's a beautiful. The light is, really reflecting, and then you have the center framing, and you have everything. The details are pretty nice in that, and actually the background basically, which is a sand color. It's actually complementing the white tones of the of your monastery at the same time. It's a perfectly done. Really, it's a
yeah.
nice one.
The depth of field is good too because I think that we have this very sharp subject and the background doesn't seem as sharp, but I kind of like that because it gives it this painterly, abstract painterly sort of vibe happening in the back here. I really enjoy that. So, this one is really wild with all the lights on and everything. So
This is my favorite as well, because I know that it get really cold. First of all, I want to tell you, because I've been there, standing on the top of the hill here, and if you wait for the light blue hour, if you wait for the lighting and all, first of all, it gets very windy at night there, and it gets very cold as well. So it is a challenging shot, first of all, very challenging shot, which I believe, and I've been waiting for the perfect light moment, which when with the blue overtone, it's a beautiful shot. And an amazingly composed, beautifully done as well. This is my favorite one actually.
yeah, I love the frame cut in half between these brown tones, then leading into these sort of yellow neons, and then just that blue to just complement the frame. And we have the moon in there as another subject too. With all this negative space, I think that moon and just these clouds really add, like you said, this is shot during blue hour, which many photographers know mostly golden hour, which is where everything has a very golden, warm sun, and then after that comes the blue hour, which is also a really nice time to take photographs. So really do enjoy that one as well. Looks like Hegden uh, really enjoys it too. It's the highest priced one on here, so he's at 0.4 on that image, and I can understand why. Is there one in here that you want me to open up and like to talk about?
Sorry, can you?
Well, yeah, one of them that you'd like me to open up to that you'd like to talk
Uh,
about.
Yeah, see, I like this one basically. The one I loved, we already done that, but definitely we can go for this Milky Way one as well, and it's a different, basically it's a completely different addition to this as compared to other and it's a different feel as well. I love this shot as well because the Milky Way completely rise over the monastery, which is a very challenging photo itself, because I've been there, and I know that you need a study. Actually, you need to study a lot before going there, because you need to be precise hour and the precise month and the precise basically timing as well. So he actually calculated very well, and very, in a good way, to be there at the perfect moment, at the perfect timing as well. And the weather is most challenging thing over there, because personally I know the place, and getting a clear sky, clear cloud, Milky Way above the monastery. I think it's a really nice, beautiful shot, and the details in the Milky Way I can see amazing as well. So this is my second favorite, as if I say it. Now up to you.
Yeah, yeah, lots of. No, I really like this one as well. I wouldn't call it my second favorite exactly, but I do really appreciate it, and I think it's beautiful, and I know that there's like a lot of hard work and patience that goes into to taking these Milky Way shots. So I mean, I guess I hadn't personally put it under my own favorites just because I feel like the Milky Way portion of it seems to be really sharp and in focus, and then I feel like we lose a lot of detail in the front here. And I think with these shots, you sort of have to lose detail somewhere, unless you learn how to merge images.
Exactly,
Correct? Like,
exactly. The
mhm,
challenge over there definitely comes in the Milky Way. If it's a single shot, of course you normally use a very less aperture at the same time, and then of course you need to merge it. You need to merge it. Either you make a two different shots of one for the foreground and one for the Milky Way, and then you merge it together to get the more details. But depending again, yeah, little bit of, you can say, the avoiding of noise, and as you're saying, in the foreground, the sharpness and all, that could be different. That could be again, different way of, doing the editing, and different way of, merging the two shots actually. But so far, I love the composition, I love the details in the Milky Way and everything in that, frankly.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely, I totally do too. And so, what there's a lot of beautiful shots here to talk about, but
Hmm.
what um what what are some of the questions that Aaron had that maybe we could try to address if we didn't already?
Okay. The collection. Okay, let me see. What are the questions? Okay, the collection is a hard work of 7 years and six trips. I have priced them based on the effort taken and output received for individual price. Picture. Sorry. Want to know if I should go rather for the flat pricing instead of different pricing. That's the first question.
I mean, I think my answer to that is like, I don't think you have to have flat pricing across the board, but if you're going to make one image double the price, so like that one image with the moon, then within the description, and I didn't read the description yet, we could do that, but in the description, like describe why that photo means a lot to you and the struggles that you went through to get it, and why it's, and you don't have to talk about why the price point is higher, but give some description into that's going to make the collector interested in paying twice the price point from one of the other ones within the collection. Right.
To,
I guess
to,
that would be my
to
answer.
be
You?
to be honest, what I have learned in 1 year of 11 months of NFT. I think I can see his prices variation starts from 0.15 to 0.2, 0.25, 0.3, 0.4. That is too much of variation, and sometimes you have to justify why it is. I can understand the 7 years of work is there, but the flat one for the pieces that you feel, and like you said, for the moon one, that definitely you should go for the higher price, because it's a different picture. and
Yeah.
and 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 personally, I really want to say, if it's a different, and if it's a hard working, or if it's an award winning picture, always mention that in your descriptions, so the collectors who's collecting, they can figure it out. Okay, this is an award winning picture, that's why I'm paying zero point 0.4, or this is a picture that really took a years of planning, or whatever it is, whatever the reason could be. But in my opinion, the variation is too much here, just my opinion.
Yeah. No, it's mine as well. So, I think two price points. is okay, but I think did you say that there's three, so 0.225, 3, and 4, and actually two of them sold at 0.15. So there's actually five different price ranges here. So
Exactly.
yeah, so yeah, I absolutely do agree with that. It's a little bit confusing to collectors, I would say. So I would probably stick to. Um, I personally think the best for my collections, at least, from what I've thought, is like the same price across the board. And if I'm using different prices, then I sort of feel like maybe I need to revisit to get images that are as good that I could price at that level before I even drop the collection. But in a case where there is one that took a lot more hard work, or than others, or maybe you had to composite parts of the image, or cold weather, etc. Yeah, as long as it's explained in there, then I think that's a good way to justify um, that. But
Exactly. Yeah.
it's not explained in here though. So right, it just
Exactly.
says. So then I would work on explaining that in there. And another thing too, your descriptions are great with the additions. Something we've been doing lately is also adding a property to show that it's one of one. I think properties are definitely the future because the algorithms are going to be looking at the properties more than they are the descriptions. So I now put my license. So I also have license commercial, license editorial, and I'll have edition one of one within the properties too. I think that's also a good idea.
Uh, can I add into one more thing, description, because that is the second question as well. Generally, general feedback on the photo, coherence, and suggestions, and on the descriptions and the write up as well. Well, to be honest, I have seen his collection. Like the description, whatever we needed, in the description, he followed the most of the rules. But for me, what is my personal opinion, he's missing the storyline up. It's like if
Mm-hmm.
you open any piece, you say just key monastery from side in spring after sunrise. That's it. That's it. So for me as a landscape photographer, if you go on any of my piece, I write up a whole story. Whole story I write up. You know why? Because I want to express myself, not just by the picture. I want to express myself by the words as well. How I've been there, what was the struggle, how many hours I spent. If he spent a whole evening to shoot that moon and shoot, he should mention that. This is just my personal feeling that I always love to explain about the whole scenario, what I was feeling on that moment, because sometimes collectors can connect to that description. They can feel it. They are in that moment, and they are enjoying what you are trying to show them at the same time by reading your description. So this is what I'm saying. I suggest, okay, descriptions and the story lineup is very important.
So I absolutely have to echo that. I agree that if you can add an extra art element to your work, and it's writing, then you're just adding another layer for a collector to have. So if you can write well, right? Now it doesn't mean that the work is about writing, because the work could still primarily be about photography, but secondary about writing as well. And so if people are able to do that, then I think it's a great idea too, because collectors do they do definitely make purchases sometimes based on the story. And in photography, a lot of times, I like the photograph to speak for itself, but I also do like a description if it's needed, if it's going to add more to the image for me. So I think there's a skill to learning how to write about an image without kind of giving away all of the information, but just giving enough to allow the image to speak on its own. So great point. Is that
Yep.
any other questions from the artist?
Well, I think no. That's it. These two questions here.
Cool. So we're going to move on then to a bird's eye, and
Wait a minute.
yeah, if you can pull up bird's eye in the spreadsheet there.
Just a minute. Bird's eye.
Sure. And
Okay.
I'll just read for now. So Bird's Eye is a collection of 9 unique images from most remote areas of Pakistan. As an aerial photographer, the first thing I do when I visit a new place is fly my bird and scout the area. I really admire the bird eye view of things happening on the ground. There is something unique about top down shots of bridges which captivates my attention. Two worlds are separated by a river, yet united by a bridge. I enjoy that a lot. I like that little artist statement
Mm-hmm.
there because
Mm-hmm.
I do like the juxtaposition between man-made objects and splitting nature in half. And when I hear the word bird's eye, I usually look at it as top downs. And so when I initially looked at this collection, the ones that really stood out to me were the top downs. So if I were to be critical, since today I guess I'm being critical off the bat, uh, the one, I mean, not that this is not a good shot, but I think it's a really great shot. I think you have a really beautiful subject with an umbrella crossing the bridge and everything here. It just feels a little out of place when the majority of images are that top down.
Top down.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, where this one would be, although there's no actual subject on this bridge, it's still a really beautiful standout and one of my favorite shots within this because it has a really abstract, minimal feel to it. So I love it. I love that shot. Um, you, there's a few other ones I really like too. Is there any that you'd like me to pull up, or you want to speak in general about the collection that we're looking at, Nicole?
Well, well, I love this one basically. This bird's eye number nine. Because the yeah,
Yeah, I'm
number
looking here.
yeah
It's on my.
nine yeah down one number
I,
nine.
I
Yeah.
should next time I'll sort it by the oldest because then it's
No,
easy
no,
to
no, it's
find the
okay.
number.
I love this one as well. The as you said, the collection is bird's eye, and it's completely fulfilled that theme actually. The subject, it really relates with that, and I love the color. The color on the two sides because it's a color theory. uh, it's basically proving the color theory which we follow in the landscape photography as well. The warm tone with the cool tone. This is my favorite as well, and I think there is I can't see properly if there is someone on the bridge as well, like little bit you can see it's some activity or someone on the bridge
It's
as well.
hard
I
to
can see
see.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
It's hard to see, but I can notice if you do really
And there's
go
some
deep.
people here on the road. There's some people on the road
Exactly.
here too.
It's my favorite, but like you said it very well. That piece, which is the earlier one you said, that doesn't actually no the other one you wanted to say, that's
Yeah, yeah,
actually, yeah, that's really coming out of the proportion and out of the whole top eye vision, top eye theme. So this one is yeah, definitely, if we can skip that one and definitely make it more shorter the collection, and I think good results will come out very soon for him as well.
yeah.
And
And so
rest
there was one more. There's one more that wasn't top down too. This one here,
mm,
and I love the subject right in the middle of the bridge here. But another one that isn't top down, and it's I don't know if I'm nitpicking here and stuff, but I feel like uh, it's you'll have a more collectible collection if everything has that theme of top down, uh, rather
mm,
than if you have some of these images that just aren't. And personally, just looking at it from far away, the ones that aren't top down to me, I didn't want to click on them as much. So they didn't draw my eye and interest as much as the ones that had that top down feel. This is another one that I really loved. I actually, you were saying yesterday that it'd have more emphasis and stuff if the car was red or something. But I like that the car is white because it makes the photo very kind of monotone or monochromatic in a sense where
exactly.
there's just two colors and you kind of have to find the car. It's not hard to find the car, but it's
Mm.
it's it's not blaring in color to the point where all of the other elements in the image become secondary. It becomes one whole with the image. I feel like, and it makes a beautiful shot for me.
And the price, his pricing is really nice as well. 0.12, and I think 0.12, 0.12, all the pieces
All
are
across,
0.12. All
very
across
yeah.
0.12. Very affordable, very genuine, very nice. As the quality of product, the quality of photos that he's providing, it's amazing prices actually. Frankly speaking.
Sure. And so, what I would do is, I'd probably, it's a collection of nine. I'd probably lose the two that we mentioned that are not top down, but that would bring it to seven. And if you wanted to bring it to an even number, maybe look through your hard drives, or find another shot that's top down that can fit in with this, and drop it in. And then, so bring those two out, bring one in, bring the series to eight. And then, you could advertise it by putting these in like a nice grid, because this type of work would look really cool in a nice grid. And then, making a tweet about it, pinning your tweet, putting it out on Twitter, and just writing a little bit about what the top, what the bird's eye view means to you, kind of like how you did in the artist statement, to kind of put some more eyes on it. Getting some eyes on it today, which is nice too. So, questions that the artist had, if you can pull those up from the
how,
quiz.
how to how to reach out to collectors who resonate with my work? That's the first question. Well,
Okay.
what do you think, Mike,
Okay.
on that?
Yeah. So, my thoughts on that. Well, one, from what I understand from a lot of collectors, is they sort of find you, and they check out your work, and then they follow what you say and how you act. And so I think a lot of collectors do this in a sense where they'll do their research. They'll look you up. They'll look at your website, read about you, but then I think very importantly, they see how you act and conduct yourself on Twitter. And if you're here for the right reasons, and if you feel like you're here for longevity and stuff. So I mean, I think that's a lot of it. But how do you get those collectors' attention? So maybe take a piece, right, that didn't sell. Let's just give an example. I don't know. Maybe you take this piece, and you just post this piece on your Twitter, and you write a story about it, and then you say it's part of this collection and it's still available underneath. And uh, we'll retweet it for you. Your friend, you have your friends retweet, and um, hopefully collectors wind up seeing it, and they connect to the story, which then brings them to all the rest of your images. That's a good way, I think, to go about it. Another one is, join um, join a Discord or something, or just a group of people that are doing aerial photography, that are interested in you know collecting or just sharing their experiences, and just being active within the community. So let's see when this. So 2 months ago, this this one shot was collected. So it's been stagnant for quite some time now. So I think, question some of those things that I brought up. Your activity within the community, and this is a good step here, submitting to the AMA, and allowing people to constructively talk about your work. That takes guts in itself, and get some eyes on it in here. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be my short answer. I don't know if you had anything else, but
No, I think you have already covered up, like coming to the spaces and starting with this AMA session, that brings more eye and attention to the work as well. And that's a very beautifully said. You take a one piece, you talk about it, you story. But I think best way I would suggest is definitely be consistent. Aerial photography, it's a different genre, it's a different theme. Definitely there are collectors out there, those who are really 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 interested into that theme as well, and that kind of work as well. Only they look for the aerial photography. I know my friends and my photographer, my fellow photographers, those who are just for aerial photographer, they have done a great. And I'm pretty sure that from this moment or from this session, of course, bring more eyes and more attention, because I see the work is great. And now it's all depending on the consistency, on and how regular you are, and how much you are basically spending your time into the community as well, and making community around you as well.
and so how do you feel about a full-on bluish theme, rather than having other color tones? You find it to be cohesive? Do you think if there was other colors, there'd be more interest? Or because I'm kind of torn there. I don't really know. I I like
I
the blue
love it.
theme.
Well,
Yeah.
I like it actually. Frankly, I like it. This warm and cool tones. Coming up in landscape photography, we always do that. Because we look for it actually, the cooler tones and the warm tones, and definitely it is nice actually. And the two pieces that you have said, if we can remove that and add something that are related to the bird eye and the up to, top down, and definitely. But for me, it's nice, really nice, beautiful.
Yeah, and so guys, I have all these collections linked in the Discord, right? And so the artists' Twitter's right here. We're here to help artists. We're all looking for help to get our more eyes. So if you guys don't mind today, the collections that you like or resonate with you, go on there and write them a quoted tweet about their work and help out because one tweet could change the course of someone's career. And so
Yeah.
if you guys in the chat don't mind helping, yeah, I'll do that for some people today, please. And if does artists have any other questions?
Just a minute. Well, the second question is, I think, okay, how to present yourself as a brand. Let me see. It is the yeah. How to present yourself as a brand.
How to present yourself as a brand?
Yeah.
Um, there's well, there's a lot of ways of. I mean, first of all, have a good and cohesive website, right?
Mhm.
Um, have other people put some eyes on it too, to give you that are going to give you honest advice about how you lay out stuff like that. So that's key is the way you curate your work, right? The other one is how do you carry yourself? We already kind of went over some of the stuff. They're like what are you doing in the community besides just posting your own work? So maybe it's that you start your own channel where you help showcase other aerial artists, or just showcase your fellow artists in general. Building a brand, it's a complicated question. There's a lot of different ways in which people build a brand. I mean, the only way that I really knew how to build my own brand was just by um, engaging with my community, caring about the community that I'm within, and just being genuine and building relationships. Like, I think the most important part of being in the community is like remembering the people's names that you had great conversations with, and how they made you feel, and just yeah, how people see you in the space and what you're doing. Just being good and kind, and you're here for the right reasons, and you're here for the long term. And I think that's a great way to build a brand.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, see, building brand, it takes time. It takes years, and I've been there, like me and you, we started, like, I think it's been a year, almost 11 months. Maybe you you longer than me, but yeah, it takes years. It takes time. Like, you have covered up the most of the things, But yeah, be consistent. Stay here. Don't give up, and working, and same time, creation is more important as well. If we are stuck somewhere, if the collection is stuck somewhere, most of the time people stop creating actually. But what is more important is creation at the same time as well. You come up with the new pictures, you come up with the new ideas, or whatever it is, and let's show what you can do apart from that as well. Which is This is just my personal opinion, and definitely building brand is, it will happen, again, as more visible you are, and more building community you are doing around you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's perfect. Does he have any other questions? Because I think we definitely
No,
definitely covered it. Cool.
I think the two questions only. Yeah.
Cool. And so we'll move on to a Sloika collection here. I always like the Sloika collections. They're really easy to move through the images. And so this is Breathe,
Which one?
and
Okay.
Breathe by Nicola Manfredi. And these are minted on Sloika. And okay, so that one was collected just before I saw it, and it was not collected. So someone must have just bought this. Okay, I don't.
Which one? Fire of which one? Can you show? Yeah, yeah.
The
Alpha
first
collected it.
image.
Alpha collected it. Alpha
Yeah,
collected it.
yeah,
He
yeah.
tweeted about it.
Well, I sent them I sent them this collection earlier. I said, this is a really
Oh
beautiful
wow.
standout collection, and there's there has been no buyers on it, and I think it deserves a look. So really cool to see that he's collected that. I'll call that collecting in real time, and so that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to help artists, and obviously we want to collect beautiful work. So this is a gorgeous piece. This was one of my favorite here in the collection. It's very hard to pick a favorite in this collection, and so let's look through some of the images. So first of all, I think the prices are like zero.
Two,
It's like
0.2.
0.2, and man, I think that's just really fair for this work. I mean, too fair. So I see this collection doing really well. You want to speak about this image because you spoke about this one being one of your favorites.
No, well, this is my favorite. I don't know why I am attracted to star. Well, I have a personal reason because it reminds me of my father, and the stars and Milky Ways and all that. So I have a personal touch with always with the night shots, and this one is beautifully done because I know this is how cold it is, to stand there in a snow and in crazy winter. I'm pretty sure this is from either it's from Dolomites, or just let me check, where it is from. It's either from Dolomites or either from Germany, Bavaria side, I believe so. Maybe Nicola can type that in the chat version if I'm wrong. But yeah, frankly speaking, this moonlight, I think it's a full moon or something like that, which is hitting, and it's perfectly done. These two small huts, which is adding more detail in the drama. This is completely a picture which I say, completely with the foreground and the background and all the details. So there are three layers completely divided: the background, the midground, and the foreground. So for me, it's a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah,
picture. Beautiful
yeah,
picture.
and it's and taking in the fact that it's extremely cold weather, right, to get all these elements at that time, right?
Mm.
I kind of just I want to kind of just be there. I want to be in one of these little log cabins, like just looking out the window. I think it's so beautiful. So, and all these we talked about this one too yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful
Oh
images.
yeah.
You mentioned something about
Oh,
about how you would personally do a crop on this image.
yeah, I think this one is a beautiful. First of all, what I want to talk about this picture is the lighting on the mountain. The glow of the sunset which is happening. It is from the Dolomite. I First of all, if those who are listening, it's a good hike. It's a 2 hours of hike. To be there. From the parking, because I've been there, and I know one of the most challenging thing of landscape photography is carrying all your stuff. You sometimes we carry like 15, 20 kilos on our shoulders, if our plan is to spend a night in around there, and then the lighting on the mountain is perfect, and this streak of light, the streak of light is perfect as well.
Yeah.
What I would do, just my personal opinion, I would little bit crop it from the left side, just
Let me
little
see if
bit
I
from
could.
the left side.
Let me see if I can do it. So
Yeah.
I would say, let's say, I'll see if I can do a little prop here, and see what.
uh yeah,
Listen,
yeah, little bit more, little bit, yeah, little bit more. No,
even a little more to the right,
no, not more. A little bit less,
a little
less
bit
cropping.
less, a little bit
Little bit
less.
less.
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That
So
would be,
let's see what that
yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would avoid that small break as well, which is coming in as well. That also, I would do that.
On
But yeah,
this
you
little
got,
part here. Yeah.
yeah. That also, so everything is perfect. Just the cropping, which if I would do personally,
And guys, we're just being like really technical here. This is a gorgeous image, and these landscapes are really amazing. And
No,
so, yeah.
frankly speaking, his work is like really, really, man. Because I have the moment I saw this collection, I really connected to it because being as a landscaper and being as a traveler and as a photographer, and I'm sure even the collectors can connect very easily to these spaces as well. That's why I think Alpha got the first one, your favorite one.
Yeah. I didn't even mention what, which ones I liked in the collection. I just sort of said, you might want to take a look at this because it's a really beautiful collection, and
Mhm.
it has no sales somehow, and it's
Mhm.
on Sloika, which is a platform that we really love. So, um, yeah. So thanks, Alpha, for supporting so many artists, and it's looking on his Twitter like he bought like from three different artists already. So, and we'll get to
Oh,
that, but
oh.
that's really cool. So yeah, talk about this one too, because I remember you
Well,
love this one. Yeah.
I love this one. The leading line. The leading line is a perfect example. I think Nicola is really know. He knows what he's doing. He knows photography really deep down, and actually he knows the rule of composition. He actually be there, feel the moment, and definitely trying to capture as beautiful as it was, that moment. And this picture, I would say, the perfect leading line, which is taking us to the mountain, and the whole drama of the sunset which is happening on the top of the mountain. It's a beautiful shot, and plus the water, stream on the left side as well. It's not too much, it's not too less. It is very proportionate way. It is not too much dragging the attention to the one side as well. So this picture is, for me, it's really, and the editing skills are nice as well, frankly speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I really love this shot. I love the colors that are here, these contrasting greens and oranges, and you can tell that there's just sunlight pouring through these trees. And I think the shutter speed that he chose was it's just perfect with this wispy, beautiful water, and the foreground. I just can't even can get better. Like with this yellow leaf in the front here. Everything's just kind of my eye just wants to be everywhere. I want to be in here. I think it's a gorgeous image.
uh there are two questions. I don't know, you want to take up the questions, or you want to go continue with the pictures,
I
I
mean,
up to
I
you.
mean,
Yep.
we don't have to dissect every image, right? Because I mean, there's
Yep.
just a lot of great images here. Like these are super beautiful. And I mean, and we're not always picking artists that need help. Sometimes we pick artists because they just dropped a beautiful collection and they don't have any sales, and um, we want to showcase beautiful work. And I mean, this
Yep.
one right here, this shot blew me away too. I can't believe the detail from
Beautiful.
the foreground all the way into the background of this shot. I just love it. These
No,
scenes
exactly.
are unreal.
That's what we
What do
call
you
in the
think?
frame, yeah, frame in the frame composition, we normally call it the two-sided. You are basically creating a drama by adding the frame in the frame. These are natural frames that we try to, well, I, being as a landscape photographer, even I look for these kinds of element which create a drama of frame in the frame. Means both the sides are like a frame, and then I have a subject in the center, or which is actually, so it's a beautiful composition, and he executed it really well as well, by adding these tree branches, in the foreground as well. I'm pretty sure he looked
Yeah,
up,
just
he took the time to study and to definitely feel it, and then he captured it.
Yeah, just look at this little branch here that just comes up. It kind of mimics what the mountain's doing coming up, and it doesn't
Mhm.
overlap the mountain. It's important to, when you're looking through your viewfinder, look at all elements. And, clearly this is our subject and our eye goes here, but I want to go all around this frame. And if I were to guess, I would say that this is probably shot at like f16 to capture this much detail. But we're on Sloika, so we could find out and see. Um,
Maybe
it's
sometime you
not
mention
listed. It's
it's a
not listed.
property. It's a property thing that you need to, sometime you mention it, sometimes you see it, so you can,
Yeah, I mean,
extra property, yeah.
yes. If I was to guess, this is shot at f16. It at least has to be f11 or above. So for people that aren't too familiar with aperture, it does multiple things. One of the things that it does is the higher the number, the
16, or maybe,
more.
yeah,
Yeah.
focus stacking. Sometimes we do focus stacking as well. We take a one single shot of the foreground, and then we normally go for the background, then we stack it together. So this is the way to achieve the higher depth of field, basically the maximum depth of field in the picture, in the photo, yeah. But it's beautifully done.
And then ending on a really really gorgeous image as well. So let's instead of dissecting these images, because they don't really have much dissecting they have to do, but we're trying to dissect things to to show the audience some things that work, so that you can take that idea and implement some of this stuff yourself. So what are the questions that from the artist?
What I love, Michael, before the question, when these types of collection come in front of us, it's not just a showcase; it become a learning for us as well. It's a learning for me as well at the same time, being as a landscape photographer. So it become a great content that also inspire us and that teach us at the same time.
Amazing, thank you for mentioning that. That's a really good point. So that's a
So
really really good
I
point.
think I didn't understand the question because I think well I'll tell you both the question. Why do you love landscape photography? And the second is, what type of processing do you use to create your photos? So these are the two questions. So is Nicola is asking the questions to us? Why do you love landscape photography, and what type of processing do you use to create your photos? So uh, it's confusing for me. I don't know what you get out of that.
Okay, I mean that's fine. I mean, I love landscape photography because if there was one thing that I think might be more interesting than art in our world, that it might be nature. So I mean, that's my answer. That's why I really like it. I think it requires a lot of patience too. Me myself, I'm not as patient as a lot of other people who are built in this genre, and so I'm more of a fleeting moment photographer, because I like fleeting moments. And so I appreciate landscapes from people who have that patience and that vision. So that's my answer to his question.
Yeah, and second is, what type of processing do you use to create your photos? What type of processing do you use to create your photos? Is it a post-processing related question, or I don't
I
know.
mean, maybe you want to answer that one. I don't know if you want to answer about your
Well,
how you
well,
process. I mean,
frankly,
I don't think he needs any help in any of these
yeah,
questions, but
no,
okay.
I see my way of process is so if I start with the process, definitely it starts with the location scouting, that where I want to go, and definitely when I am there, I am taking time. What I've seen, because I am leading tours as well, I do workshops as well, and in the workshops, basically most of the time I've seen people not taking the time to feel, to basically to get into that area where they are going, and just feel it around, and then start clicking, because I've seen many people, they just start clicking without feeling it. So for me, the process is just to reach there, scout it, having time and feel it around me, and then definitely go for the clicking thing. And when it comes to post processing, definitely post processing is a different. I think everyone has their own ways of post processing, but I do in a decent, not in an exaggerate way. I try my best to keep the details natural as well, and not to exaggerate that it looks very unreal as well. So this is what in brief, if I say, this is my process from scouting to end up the picture being more natural as well. And landscape photography, what it calms me down. I'm a very hyperactive, I'm a very fast guy in my life, and it allows me to calm down in my life. And what I believe, why if I say travel a lot, because not everyone is lucky to travel around the world. But when we bring something, a content like something, in front of people, it become an inspiration for them as well. For me, landscape photography can bring more than a joy. It can bring inspiration, and it can motivate people as well to travel more in their life and follow their dream and passion as well. So that's my reply why I love landscape photography.
Cool. So maybe they are good questions to hear our perspective as the as the people who are conducting the AMA. It's interesting. Cool. So I think we've said enough about this collection. Great to see the first sale come from Alpha Trilogy today. Hopefully you get some more eyes on it. Like I said, guys, if you're in the crowd and you're listening, this is a very talented artist, and needs more eyes on the work. If you don't mind
and 0.2
retweeting. Yeah,
0.2
0.2.
is
Yeah,
two is really really interesting price, for this type of pieces. I believe it should go it should go
it's
really quick.
yeah. I think it's undervalued. So yeah, a nice retweet, or if you want to take the further step and quote retweet. I always recommend quote retweeting and writing a little bit about how you feel about somebody else's work. Remember, uh, sometimes you take the attention off yourself and you showcase other people. It not only helps them, it actually also helps you too, because those people will eventually help you as well. So thanks, guys. Cool. I'm gonna move on to the next collection. This is called Stranded in the Desert. Stranded in the Desert is eight one of ones of my best pieces from a great Indian desert, often known as the Thar Desert. As the name implies, this collection has photographs that capture the breadth and brilliance of the desert. These pieces are a result of a collaboration of minimal and landscape styles. This is my Genesis collection, where it all began. My passion and never-ending love for photography. It's a little bit about me. I'm Hatanch. Can you say that for me? You're
uh
Indian, right? The name?
Hitansh.
Hatanch. All right, I was close.
Hitansh.
A 17-year-old landscape photographer. So 17 years old. Um, Props. That's yeah. You're doing yeah. At 17, I was taking pictures of flowers and I didn't. They weren't good. So um, these are really good. So and these are all shot on iPhone. So respect. He's always loved smartphone photography. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I try to tell a lot of people, they ask me which camera. Um, you know, if you got the iPhone on you, it's an absolutely beautiful camera, especially when the lighting conditions are good. All these things are tools people want to discuss: film versus digital, smartphone versus $100,000 Hasselblad. Well, it really the images come from the mind and the eye, right? And the tools are secondary. So um, you know, you can give a golf set to a cheap golf set to Tiger Woods, and or the most expensive golf set to someone who doesn't play golf very often, and I think you know what would happen. So we don't care that they're. I mean, we don't mind that they're smartphone photography. Some of the work that I've sold is on my iPhone. They're great cameras. So let's take a dive into some of these pictures. Some really beautiful minimal landscapes. I'll pull up this one here. This one's been stoled and really gorgeous. And why don't you take the lead and talk on this one, Nicole?
This is one of my favorite, man. I love this. First of all, because I'm from India. I know these desert. It is Thar Desert, which is only desert in India, and most of the time, the places like this, these are from basically from Jaisalmer or Jodhpur side, which are the most touristic places in India. So if you ever come, Mike, like to these deserts or to these places, I'm pretty sure you find really overcrowded. So one of the biggest challenge here is to find not crowded, so I don't know how he which month he did that. Did he spend a like lot of time while scouting, or while calculating which month I should go where the crowd is less, or in the morning or in the evening, whatever it is. But yeah, having a picture which is less crowded, it's like you're going to Taj Mahal and you find no people. So it's you can imagine what I'm saying right now,
Yeah.
so first of all,
Why is it overcrowded? Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Why is it
yeah, because
overcrowded if it's in the desert?
it's only desert India. It's the only desert in India,
Oh,
and Rajasthan is pretty famous for the tourists. The tourists from all over the world come
wow.
to come to that place. And we normally take the tourists for the sunset there, and then all these camel activities and all that happening over there. So, but yeah, having a clear. Right.
Who's microphone?
No, no, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just trying to check.
Yeah.
Somebody had an open mic. So. Okay. Uh, yeah. Please continue. Sorry.
So having a clear shot, first of all, it's very challenging, and it's a lovely one. And plus, What I love about this shot, the lines, the leading lines, the texture on the foreground, and the person standing over there, and the sunset lighting. It's reflecting uh, it is a pure perfect shot for me. Travel or a landscape picture, which definitely this one is my favorite. From this collection, I would say that this one.
Mhm. Great, great, great. Well, I mean, they all have that vibe where there's no one there. I mean, look at this shot here because there's no one to be found in this shot too. Like, this is
Yeah,
different, beautifully minimal. Love it, love it, love it, love the minimalism here in this. It's
and
yeah,
he's just 17-year-old man, and seriously, I'm surprised by his vision and way of seeing the life around the things and around him. And definitely at 17, if he's doing that with the phone, I can imagine after 5 years where he would be. Definitely, but definitely he's so much great with his vision and the composition and the way of seeing, actually the art. He knows the law of attraction in the photos, basically, what we call it.
yeah. I love this one too because they're just this small figure out there in the red or orange. It's just a perfect subject for such a minimal shot, and the color relationships are just really beautiful, and your eyes just go right out to him, but he's not distracting, and it's just yeah, another wonderful shot for me. Um, Colors, the warms and the yeah, and so. Um, Yeah, I could go on and we could go on and talk about it, but it's like so yeah, another great shot. Love the kind of how the gentleman has his head down and he's walking with his arms out, and these steps just lead into it. You talk about leading lines; these steps just leading into the subject out into the distance here.
Perfectly done, and definitely it's a perfect example of leading line, like you said. And he actually, what I say, it's not just random shots. He really think, and a thought process is there behind the shots as well. And this is the effort which I can see, before clicking. Like he scouted and he planned it, or maybe he thought a thought process is there behind the picture. This is what makes landscape photography very interesting, when the thought process is there behind your pictures as well, along with the stories.
Perfect. And so the prices are good too. 0.15, like that. Um, and like yeah, I find them all really beautifully minimal. What are some questions that the
Well,
audience?
the question is, the collection cohesive as a whole? What would be your initial reaction looking at the collection? That's the first question.
Yeah, I think it's cohesive as a whole. I really like it because we have these beautifully minimal aspects, and even when we don't have a person in the photograph, it's still emotive. There's still emotion for me within that image, right? And so 10 people favorited this too, so I'm sure they feel the same way. Um, yeah, I do like the color, grading that you're using here. I mean, you have a lot of these purplish magenta tones, but then you kind of threw us a couple of other cooler ones, which I think if it was all these purplish tones, then it would get sort of repetitive, and my eye wants to see some of these. So uh, yeah, I'd even like to see two more in the collection, maybe two more cooler tone to even it out. And yeah, but I think
Exactly.
yeah, I think it's a really great collection. Three owners so far. Some decent volume traded, and let's look at the activity. Um, well,
Well,
look at the activity. It's up, right? So, but well, three sales. So yeah, three sales in a month. It's a situation for a lot of us. But yeah, what was the questions? Or the other ones?
The second one is, I would like to hear a thought on the collection pricing. Do you think it's reasonable? Which you have already covered. I think you have already talked about it. Any feedback on post processing of these photos? And well, going forward, do you think smartphone photography can find a place in the NFT space? That we haven't
Uh,
talked about, but yeah, that's the question which I
yeah,
think.
I mean, like I said, it's smart phone, iPhone, smartphone, whatever photography. yeah, it's just a tool to make art. So to me, that question is the same as asking, is art going to have a space within the NFT space? And the answer is yes. A lot of
But
iPhone works already selling within the NFT space, whether or not people say it was taken with an iPhone or not. I think as the mobile phones get better and better, yeah, I think there's going to be more mobile shots in the space. I think it's going to create more competition and more saturation. Sure. What's
Well,
your
I believe,
opinion?
well, my opinion, or to be honest, he has already sold three pieces with the phone photography. It's already an answer and a good start. And I believe that he can continue definitely. And then phone photography is getting, I mean, these phones, these days the phones are definitely doing amazing job as well. And because I'm seeing a lot of collections now with the phone photography, with the smartphone photography. And yes, there is a future, there is definitely a future in the NFT space with the smartphone photography again. Like what we present, how we present, and like here he presented in a most honest way. He mentioned it. He's very young, and definitely his way of the thought process go behind the pictures and all that is amazing as well. So definitely yes, definitely yes.
Sure. And like I said, the phone is a tool, and it's really get good in most situations where you have good lighting, and it's even better than a camera in some situations that are tight, and you can get into a tight space or get low. But there are situations where it's not the best tool, and it's not the best tool for astrophotography. It's not the best tool for street photography that's in low light conditions because your shutter speeds are probably going to cause blurred images and stuff. And so it depends what art you're doing with it. And so the art that you're doing with it is perfectly fine to use on a phone because they work really well in these great lighting situations. So that's all I
Even
have on that. Yeah, go ahead.
Mike, I do as well sometime because whenever I reach to a spot or reach to a location, first I try to click a picture with the photo or with my smartphone to get an idea of and the feel of the whole shot basically. So I do trial shots on the phone as well, and it helps, So
Well, yeah, I mean, the phone will also show you what the shot looks like in HDR, high dynamic range. I notice sometimes I take a shot with my iPhone 13 Pro, and it just like brings out all the shadows, everything. And then I take it on my Fujifilm, and I'm like, this photo's a lot darker on my Fujifilm. So it kind of gives you an idea of like what the image could be like even after you edit and process on your camera through shooting in RAW. So,
mm, exactly.
cool. Yeah,
Uh,
I'd like to
well,
move on to the next collection just because, yeah,
which one? Next one.
um,
Which one?
next one is Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. It's an
Wandered Lonely
interesting
as a
title.
cloud. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so there are moments that you take shelter by the nature. It embraces you with its colors, sounds, or silence. Mountains, flowers, trees, rivers, animals surround you. You're healed when you're in this crowd. The nature inspires us. Oaks teach pride, lakes teach calmness. For example, mountains, every step takes you higher, which makes you feel more. It gives you a sense of admiration and freedom, but a little bit of loneliness. Walking with the dazzling view is also a therapy. It brings joy and inspiration as well. So, I just want to stop there for a second and say, you know, these are artist statements that I think work really successfully because you're not giving away the information about your collection, but you're talking about why you do what you do and how it makes you feel. And I think that that connects very well with a collector. And so I see a lot of people before they even write about how the art makes them feel, they put all their awards and all this stuff above that, and I think all that comes secondary. So, so I think this is a very well written artist statement. With this collection, I want you to feel that beauty of the nature. Every piece in this collection tells my respective journey in and with the nature for years. All are one-on-one edition. I borrowed the headline from an English poet, William Wordsworth, who developed the love of nature, a theme reflected in many of his poems. Cool. So, cool. So let's take a look through. some of the images here. So, my initial when I looked at this, I personally was more drawn to the vertical shots. So um, this one, for instance, was really beautiful to me. It felt really nostalgic, but I really enjoyed the colors. I think you picked vertical for a really good reason here because from bottom to top, I have a really high interest in everything I'm seeing here. Looks like it could be on a lake. Looks like a place where I would want to rent and stay with friends for the weekend. Again, a really nice, beautiful photograph. Um,
Mm.
And let's say another vertical one, this lonely, is really beautiful to me. I love the way the light is hitting here. Um, Nicole talked about yesterday about how he loves this cloud, how it's just
Uh,
coming down like this, right? Just a beautiful touch, right? Just
it's a
another,
beautiful touch. Yeah.
yeah, it's another greatly composed vertical image. Um, so, this was another one that stood out to me. This is a horizontal, but I felt like it felt so true to real life color that I could feel like I'm almost there. Like you could smell the trees and hear the water. This is a very true to life feel where the greens aren't ultra saturated. And sometimes I don't want to look at oversaturated images. Sometimes I like this natural feel. It makes me feel like I really am in a place. And so um, looking at the collection as a whole, Nicole, what's your take on this collection as a whole? Does it feel cohesive? Does it feel like some the images are strong and then other images kind of take away from the ones that are strong? How do you feel about the collection?
Well, the pieces you talked about, I fell in love with those pieces first. When we saw first time this collection, of course, those pieces are extraordinary. Like the waterfall one, this last one you showed, But there are other pieces that are not strong as the first ones, like this one. If you say, yeah, the one you opened, it is a I would say I would put it as just a normal one. The one you presented before, I think if we can skip that one from the collection, definitely the whole collection becomes more powerful and the stronger as well. So this one is a people are standing, people are enjoying, and just for me it's a normal landscape picture one, normal landscape one, definitely. But yeah,
Yeah.
I would say there are a few shots, which this one is not correlating with the other ones we have seen, in my way.
Sure. And so, while it's not a bad photograph or a bad landscape, I'm not lost in it, and I'm not creating my own sort of nostalgic narrative as to why I want to be here or anything. And so, I think when you have people in the frame, um, you know, either they're sort of the main subject or this mountain peak is the main subject, but the composition doesn't, it has a lot in the foreground here that's just not that interesting to me. And so I kind of get lost in trying to figure out what my subject actually is. And I think that was the issue for me with that shot. And so
And the
this
second one, I
shot,
would say,
we talked about this one
yeah,
too, right? About the
yeah,
leading
yeah,
line, but
yeah.
nothing sort of being on the road, you know.
Normally the leading line normally leads to the subject. In a landscape photography, we always believe, if it's a leading line, it leads you somewhere. It leads you to the subject. But if I follow this line, it leads me to this mud over there, or the small, patch of mountain over there. Also, yeah, the left one, yeah, where you pointed actually. So this is not exactly as the photos we have seen, which are very powerful, which are very 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 compositional wise, and this one is, I would avoid that one as well. But if there was a lady, if there was someone who's walking, or someone maybe who's like on the path and following the trail, and definitely that could be the different story. But okay, we don't go into that. But yes, I'm in short, in brief, if I can skip that as one, then the whole collection is becoming more powerful and strong as well. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So as we remove some of the ones that don't feel as powerful, then the thing about um, you know, collector coming to your collection and looking at it is that, you know, I think as a collector, we kind of want them all to hit, right? We kind of want
Exactly.
every shot to hit, and for it to be hard for us to kind of pick the one that we want to buy. And so I think the thing with curation is that if you can do that, and that's why I speak to a lot of people about, the same price across the board in a sense, because it should it if every shot hits, if every shot's a banger, then maybe all the same price across the board, means you've revisited enough of your craft to be able to make those photographs that are compelling every time. And so the way I feel about the next collection that I drop is that, and I want to drop a collection of 100, is that I don't want the last collectors who collect from me just to buy because of FOMO, because it's about to sell out, but they're not buying it because they love the image. They're buying it just because from a investment standpoint, that's all that's left. I'd love for the last image to be left to be an image that this person says, "Wow, this is the last image. This resonates with me. How has this not been collected yet?" And so
So,
I'm trying to look at a lot of the work that I'm going to put into my next collection as either the photo is hell yes or it's no. But if it's in the middle and I don't know whether or not I want to add it as a filler, I'm not interested in adding it. And so I'm trying to be very strict on the next collection that I drop, because we're putting these collections on the blockchain permanently. And so I want to leave a mark with the next collection that I drop, because the next one I drop is actually, would say, the most important project I've ever done in my life. And so, if that means anything to anyone listening, that try to think about that. You're putting your work onto an immutable blockchain that cannot be changed, and you're putting it out there. And so, with OpenSea, in a situation like this, you have the chance to correct some things if you can. It's like you're in an AMA session taking feedback right now. So if you agree with us on these two, and possibly, I don't know, this has some beauty to it too. I mean, I don't know about this one. If you agree on taking some out, you still can, because OpenSea doesn't charge you any cost to do that. And so the tighter you can make your collection with the most impact is a good goal, for me. What do you think, Nicole?
no, no, definitely. You said it really right. See, Mike, we all did mistakes. I did mistakes as well when I came and I joined. Definitely on early stages I was also adding pieces. But I later realized that no, I have to select it and I have to curate it and I have to uh, be more precise what I am actually adding into my collection. And now I try my best that okay, if any piece that doesn't suits or doesn't feel I don't want to add it. I don't want to add it. Like you said, OpenSea has a still and chances and a liberty to change your opinion, but other where you have to just burn it and you have to pay again in like so like or whatever in on the foundation. So definitely
Mm-hmm.
if you can be very 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 much like ask to the people before selection, or if you can feel this one is not really going well, I don't, then make it 8 pieces instead of 10. Go for 8, go for 7. But yeah, the stronger pieces definitely will attract more and more collectors or more and more people, actually, I believe.
Yeah,
So
so
this is it.
yeah, so we have to be more, especially when you're going on to those other platforms. You have to be more strict to try to get it right the first time, because there's really no second time unless you want to maybe pay a ton of gas fees, or maybe you can't even remove it. So, with that being said, MetaJungle, through MetaJungle, I'm going to be doing a future AMAs for people who are getting ready to publish their project but haven't done it yet, where we
Oh,
can critique the work before it hits the blockchain so that they don't make those mistakes. And so, that's something that we're introducing here shortly. We're working on a Google form now, and so, anyone who's looking forward to drop a future project that wants eyes on it before that, we're going to ask you guys to submit to that. So keep an eye out on that. And
that is
on that,
very, very. No, I would say thanks, and I would say really, really, I would appreciate MetaJungle and you as well on this take, because it will save and it will help many people, to save our energy, to save our before the drop. If we can talk and like a curation kind of platform is there, hats off. No, Mike and MetaJungle,
Well,
hats off to you guys.
well, thank you. I don't want to take all the credit on this. I will be doing this, but this was actually an idea from one of my previous AMA hosts, Saboj Shetty, who I really respect. He had that idea, and so I presented that idea to MetaJungle, and so we're implementing it because it's a
Uh,
great idea.
Yeah, just want to take his one question, because we have talked mostly his question. Is the description enough? Should I add more info? Can you feel my emotions in it? How's the pricing as a Genesis collection? Well, I have seen his description. So it's all same description. He like in a short form and not in a disrespectful way. It's just copy and cut and paste. And then definitely he mentioned the locations, but definitely it would be really nice if we can add some emotions and feelings, into that. Just again, my personal opinion. All the descriptions are same, mostly.
Cool. So
So
I
if
think
we
you
can,
answered that. You answered
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
I don't have anything to add. That's well said.
The
Cool.
pricing thing, I think is nice. Pricing is nice as well.
Yeah,
Zero
zero
point
point
one.
0.1 is very fair. Very
Very fair. Very fair.
cool.
For the pieces that first one are the very fair prices.
Absolutely. Really
Yeah.
beautiful work. So let's move on to the next collection. So this next collection is Dubai City Skyline by Wahid Akhtar. And so this Genesis is a collection of 14 unique images showcasing the beauty of the Dubai City skyline, including Burj Khalifa. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yeah. But
All
yeah, Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa.
right.
Yeah.
Good,
The
good,
big
good.
building.
Okay. All right. This tower holds six world records aside from being the tallest building in the world located in Dubai. Photographing the cityscape always surprises me. Living in this part of the world gave me several opportunities to shoot this wonder at different times and different points of view, and totally enchanting atmospheres. As a nature lover while photographing, um, how can I forget not to include the elements of nature like sunrise and the sunlight, mist, clouds, lightning, moonset, etc., to complement this tallest man-made structure. Such moments are meant to be captured and saved forever. Great. Um, so yeah, interesting artist statement, and obviously, like just right off the top, I'm pretty blown away by some of
Hmm.
these images. This is collected. Alpha Trilogy. I saw on Twitter he collected this one. Yeah,
Wow.
that's an amazing photograph. Yeah, it's the
Frankly
best
speaking.
lightning shot, right? In there.
Yeah. No, no, different. See, I believe now more we moving forward to the NFT world, more and more people joining every day from around the world, and I believe Dubai is one of the place where many artists are coming from that place as well, from UAE and Dubai, from Abu Dhabi as well, which is great as well. Now the doors are opening for everyone, and this is one of my favorite collection, from like not just from Wahid, from Dubai basically. I would say that because it's been 10 months. I have seen photos from people from all of the photographers, capturing Dubai. But I would say this is one of the most uh, prettiest and the decent pricing as well so far I have seen in NFT space. The detailing, the drama, and I'm pretty sure he captured, every emotions, every lighting and the drama
Look at
he tried,
that.
from
Yeah,
sunrise to sunset to blue hour to lighting as well, like even the storm and everything. So he did a great job on all the pieces as well. Like he said, he wanted to add all the elements from sunrise, sunset. How can I forget those all the elements of nature? He added into that. He actually really meant for it. Yeah,
for sure.
beautiful,
Something's
beautiful collection.
yeah. Wow. I didn't see that one yet. It's really interesting too. Look at that sky.
Mm,
Beautiful shot. I'm a huge fan of this last one too. I like what he I like what he did here with whatever this is in the foreground. It
exactly.
almost feels like he's on a boat and shooting through something, but I don't know what it is. I don't but I and just the colors. Oh man, it's just wild this shot. If
It's a
this
complete
Go ahead.
collection. 0.2 pricing is just really really nice, interesting pricing for this collection. Definitely, for this
Absolutely.
collection. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got all his properties in here. For the most part, really great. And yeah, there's one picture that kind of stands out to me a little bit in this collection. I don't I don't necessarily agree with the aspect ratio and the cropping here when everything else has, a very cohesive aspect ratio. And we didn't talk about this, but I don't how do you feel about um one
If
image
I
being in,
if I see all his species definitely that goes into a one ratio, in a horizontal form, Uh, I think I don't know why. Must be reason that he wanted to go for this panoramic shot. Maybe he wanted to show the whole skyline, or 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 uh, or say, frankly speaking, it's a beautiful picture, but yeah, could be avoided, this one, because as compared to other pieces which are completely horizontal one, and they are mostly around the subject of Burj Khalifa, or the subject of Burj Khalifa. If you see, all the pieces are mostly based on Burj Khalifa. um, okay, and then this one is basically a different subject, which I'm honest here, I'm just on be try to be honest here, but no doubt it's a beautiful photo, but Burj Khalifa is on the left side here. You can see the small one, Burj Khalifa is here. So,
yeah, beautiful photo
I
to
don't.
me too. Just wanted to point that out. Like I don't know, aspect ratios sort of bother me in a collection if it's that much different. I think it's a strong piece, but I think um, I don't think it's as strong as some of the other pieces in the collection. And I thought it was a weird
Mhm.
choice to add it with that aspect ratio. I have to be honest. I love this collection. So um,
No, no, it's a powerful collection.
yeah,
In brief, I would say powerful collection. Well, you want to take the questions, Mike?
yeah. Let's take the questions because
Well, I think. What do you think of the overall quality of the collection? If these images evoke any emotions when you see them, I think we have
we
covered
covered
that.
that. Yeah.
So the next question is interesting, actually. How do you get seen, noticed in the space without too much chill around?
Without too much shilling.
Chilling around, yeah, without too much chilling around.
Well,
How you get noticed
I
and
mean, yeah, I don't really like the word shilling. I don't even really like the word marketing that much. They seem very in your face. It seems kind of annoying when you hear the words. I like to think of it as building relationships, and so um, most of those shill threads are that you find on Twitter are engagement farmers, or they're like bots or fake verified, and they say like, oh, I have 4 ETH today, post your stuff, and then there's no engagement in any of those threads. So I don't know. I do a thread, and MetaJungle does a thread. uh, I do a thread called art thread, where I have rules in the thread, and it's like you post what you have, but there's rules. You have to retweet others work and engage with others work. So if you could find other people doing that sort of thing, if you can join spaces and get up on the mic and talk about your work, and I mean, I'm sure if you present this work in a large spaces and it's at 0.2 for the price point, you could talk passionately about it. I don't see why you can't. Um, I don't see why you can't sell them. And then we talked before about take one of your favorite images and post it on Twitter and write a little story about it and say, this is still in my available in my collection on Sploika, priced at 0.2, a one of one priced at 0.2. So just in authentic engagement. That's my answer.
yeah. See, Mike, Wahid, if he's here, if he's listening, I would say, uh, your work is extraordinary. This collection is extraordinary. So I believe, all it takes, it's just a right eye to find it. Because many most of the time, when I talk to my collector, when I talk to people, they always say, Nakul, be patient, because might be some collector is not related with your that piece, but maybe someone comes and definitely relate with that piece and definitely will grab it. And I'm pretty sure that your work is amazing, which is this is the first powerful point here. The work is amazing, work is great. Second is, I have seen you that you are coming very regularly on the spaces, on the joining the spaces, and this is what you're doing already. So I believe, it's pretty amazing that you're doing already, building relation and connections around you. And yes, the consistency matters a lot. How much hours and how much time that you are definitely giving to the space, and how much other people work you're retweeting at the same time as well. But I believe this collection definitely, uh, it just need one push and definitely it's gone. I think I'm glad that Alpha took the one picture today and he posted it, and he posted it in a very beautiful way, and I'm pretty sure the more collectors will definitely see and coming to these beautiful pieces as well.
Yeah, so I mean, this is one step right here, being in the AMA, and got eyes on it, and a sale happened. So, did you have any other questions?
Yeah. Okay. I would love to hear all the critics about the collection so I can improve with my next collection. I think you have covered it up, with that panorama shot, or
Yeah,
any other critiques that
I
you
do.
want.
I do. Sure. Three lightning collections. Three lightning shots in a single collection. So, um, this one, this one, and this one. I think this is the most powerful. I think this is the second most powerful. I think this is the least of the powerful of them. So I mean, maybe you don't need three. Maybe two is good enough. I don't know. That would be my only critique. And my other was about this that just felt out of place within a collection of everything else that's has kind of more of like a 35 millimeter aspect ratio. It makes you sort of think, why'd you go with this, and did you go with it because there was elements in the frame that didn't work and you couldn't compose it
Mm.
correctly in the camera? I don't know. So I'm very picky about that sort of stuff. But no, I think it's a really, I think it's a really well done and really fantastic collection. I think there's something in here for everybody. So yeah, that's my answer.
Oh, that's pretty good. No, you have given all the critics that I wanted to give as well, and I think we have covered up all. And yes, it's a start. It's a beautiful start. Already one picture sold, and I'm wishing and I'm hoping that from this session and from definitely from tomorrow, more and more eyes will coming. Yeah, will be coming. Yeah,
For sure. Cool. Let's move on.
yeah, yeah. Which one
Uh,
now?
Anatolian landscapes.
Anatolian landscape. Okay.
Okay, so in some points of Anatolian, in regions with high visual value, I present to your appreciation and evaluation a selection of photographs that I have chosen carefully. The season and location of light, and which I have taken with care and created over time. Um, you know, it, it's a very small artist statement, and I understand that there's clearly probably a language barrier here, um, and so some of it I didn't understand a bit, maybe the way it was presented. So you can reach out to one of us at MetaJungle, and we can help to help with your artist statement a bit. So I think you could expand on this, and it could be more well written. So let's just dive into the work. And so there's so we both looked at this collection yesterday, me and Nicole, and so I think we would say that it's about half the collection where you have really really strong pieces with strong subjects, maybe more than half. These I think it's all the ones that sold actually. It's sold,
Exactly.
sold, sold,
So
sold. And so maybe we can shine some light on why we think that those sold and the others haven't. And I think part of it is because you have clear subjects. So let's take a look at this one. That's like this beautiful frame within a frame, right? And we have that subject just in the middle here, that extra adds that extra, uh, just dynamic, element to this, right? And the wispy sky comes down into him, and you agree, Nicole, that just these ones, the ones that sold, they just have this, this element that you understand the subject, and the framing seems really intelligent in these ones, right?
Yeah, pretty sure. See, if imagine if I'm a collector, and I come to a collection of someone, so what I want to capture first is always the strongest piece, which is very normal, that okay, this piece is attracting me a lot, and this seems like really beautiful one. I need to grab it, so the strong pieces, if the strong pieces are whole, like are sold already, then it becomes very difficult for the other pieces, if they are not strong, it becomes very difficult for them to sell out, so like the four one, which we when we have seen this collection, we have already discussed and talked about it, that okay, they are already sold and they are powerful one, and but the other fours are completely different and not correlating with the first four, so that's the but this one is amazing piece, and it's my favorite as well, which is sold already. Yeah, this one.
Right. And so another gorgeous piece, right? Like just wow,
Milky Way. Yep. Yeah.
just
I
wow. Yeah, talk about it,
even
please.
yeah, the Milky Way. See, I love Milky Way. It's always challenging photo to do, because a lot of details and lot of actually efforts goes into that. How you click it, because sometimes we want to click it in a single frame. We want to just make it a one single frame and to capture the Milky Way as much as possible as the details. And sometimes we have to go like really one for the foreground, one for the background, but I think it's a single shot. I believe it's a single shot, and he tried really very well in the single shot. There's a foreground, the Milky Way is rising, and I like the glow, actually, the glow of the light. Basically, the light pollution is coming, and it's adding actually more drama into the whole scene. So that's why it's sold, this one picture. It's a beautiful Milky Way, beautiful picture as well. Yeah.
Sure. And so, looking at those two, let's look at one more that has a really, really beautifully clear subject, right? And so, just these three people just, standing there, and it seems like, they're probably hikers, and they're really just enjoying this, gorgeous sunset, I would probably say. It's probably a sunset. Um, and really well done. You mentioned that you
Yeah.
probably crop over here and yesterday. So let me talk a little bit, and let me see if I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
pull up a crop.
yeah. It is okay. See, most of the time, but when we do workshops, and we always say, people, there are two ways. There are two ways. You can definitely make a great picture or beautiful picture. So I always, most of the time, people not try to avoid the unwanted elements. I always suggest us to just try to avoid the unwanted elements. Like here, if you see, there's a half on the left side, the half wall basically. It's not really nice. It's really it's actually taking the little bit attention, it dragging the attention as well. So if he has cropped, little bit, from there, where like you are trying to crop right now, avoiding this light, that one, it could be the more beautiful, powerful. No distraction now. Now you can see there is no distraction. No element. Which is bothering you. And the second thing which I would love to do, which is completely again depending on your skills of post processing, I would open a little bit of shadows actually in the foreground. And little bit of highlights on the sky part, on the background as well. So these are just minor details, which comes with practice. More you practice, more you learn about the shadows and the highlights, how you have to play. But yes, it's a beautiful compositional picture. The story, like you said, the three people standing there, making the picture more stronger. But yes, bit of shadow cropping and all, okay, make it more stronger actually.
You would have more highlights or less
No.
highlights?
Little bit down, little bit down
A
the
little
highlights,
down,
just a
and
little bit
and then a
down the
little
highlight, but
up, and then a little up
shadows.
on the shadows. Okay,
Exactly, shadows, a little
interesting.
bit up of the
I
shadows. Yeah,
like I like I like the crop though. I like this crop.
yeah, this crop, definitely.
Because when I went a little further to take out this, it was too much. We
Too
needed more
much.
negative space over here. Yeah.
Mm.
So
So,
Yeah.
mostly, what we can do normally with I suggest while you're shooting, you have to be very, very careful, because once you're back, all you have to do is just with the post processing. But on the field, you can move your angle, you can move yourself on the field, So it's always better to scout little bit. And the best advice that I can give right now, try with your phone first, just to get an angle. Take a picture with your phone and you just get an idea of the angle, get an idea of which elements are coming into the frame, which are not coming into the frame, and which are wanted elements and which are not unwanted, which are unwanted elements. So that's how I do normally when I do landscape photography. And if it's too much, distraction and all that, I move myself or I move my camera.
Mhm. Perfect advice. Look at these properties description.
Yeah.
Really well
Oh,
done.
nice.
Really, really well done on the properties and description. You were saying before, the properties are the future within the space. They are, I think, like the EXIF data, the metadata that algorithms are going to pick up on later on. So I would, everything I do within my description, I would also put into my properties now. So
Nice.
we talked about a few photos, and also this shot is great. I'm not going to open it up. Because we're cut. We're already an hour and 40 minutes in, so I don't want to go too long on dissecting every photo. But that's another. This is another great shot that sold. So let's talk a little bit about some of the ones that we felt maybe didn't exactly focus as clear on the subject. And so we talked about this, and you talked, Nicole, yesterday about, you know, you have to look at the landscape and figure out what your main subject and attraction is. And something that I talked about yesterday was the fact that, this bush over here was just taking up too much of my attention. And it was just too much. Now, if this bush wasn't here at all, and maybe it was just this little one, I think it would be enough foreground element to still make this beautiful. Look at the lines and just the erosion over time, and this abstracts that nature has created within the mountains on its own. That I'm more interested in that than I am of this bush. So you want to talk a little bit on that and how you would have maybe you would have took this landscape if you were
See,
there.
I would definitely see. Sometime you are. Sometime definitely you can move. You can avoid elements. Sometimes you can't. So on that moment, what you do normally, you just move yourself, or if you think if it's too much distraction into the picture, don't go for the wide angle. Don't go for the horizontal. Go for vertical. I would go for the vertical one. Like you're saying here, just taking this small bush and the mountain and the clouds. So that would be creating a whole drama. I would be going for the vertical shot instead of a horizontal one. But you're right here. This bush is actually a distraction here. It is taking an attention because I believe the main subject is the mountain here. While when he was trying to shoot, he was trying to show the mountain as a primary subject, and definitely this one is taking lot of attention from that mountain as well. So my best suggestion is go for vertical instead of horizontal, if you can't move, or if you don't have any other options available on the field.
Sure. And so we'll move on to the next one here, where we kind of felt similar in the fact that, the interest really lies in these split green and brown mountains and all of that's happening over here. And that this foreground is just, there's not enough interesting elements of this foreground that
Yeah.
that will even lead us into something like this. I mean, so maybe if we were to go with a crop, I don't know if I'm going to be perfect on a crop here, but maybe it would be more along the lines of something um, about about the just about this. I'm not gonna make the crop because it's just difficult to do with this tool, but um,
It's okay. uh Yeah, see, we said, it's a very landscaping picture, very random landscaping picture, but again, the definitely the vision and the idea of the photographer, what he wants to portray and what he wants to show over there. But if I was there, I'm honest with you, if I was there, like you said, the whole drama. the whole drama of everything is happening on the mountain, which is very attractive. The three layers of the three different colors basically, plus the texture on the mountain is interesting. So what I have done if I was there, I would have gone for completely full zoom, or we call it a focal length compression. I would have, if I had a zoom with me, I would have gone like completely with a full zoom and just focusing on the mountain,
Hmm.
capturing the three colors and capturing the details of the texture of the mountain, and then definitely presenting it. So that would be my preference and my way of shooting. But again, yes, if some strong pictures come out with the texture and with the different colors version, it always attract a lot of collectors, not just a collector, even the people as well.
Sure. Yeah. So I'd probably use a 300 to 400 millimeter lens from where he was standing here to really focus in on that as well. So I think that's
Exactly.
a great point. So yeah, then we'll just talk one more image where we felt that uh, it was hard to find the subject while we have so much beauty in this foreground. Like there's so much
Mhm.
abstract beauty. Maybe sometimes zoom in and focus on just these little parts of the landscape, and you don't have to get the whole landscape because there's a road here, but there's no truck doing deliveries on the road, and there's no real subject. It's very hard to figure out where my eyes want to go in this image. Do you feel like that too, Nicole?
Yeah, yeah. See, the whole purpose of landscape photography, what we believe is start with one subject, one primary subject, which is strong subject. Then your eyes rotate in the whole scene, actually capturing all the other elements as well. So here is missing the primary subject. What is the primary subject here? Is the road? Is the mountain? Is these smaller small mountains, or is the sky, or it is what it is basically. So what I do or suggest, go for the first primary subject and then add the other elements, whatever it could be, the natural elements or the man-made elements. Then it's a complete landscaping picture, because it allows the viewer eye to rotate in the whole scene basically. So here we are missing that primary subject actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just learning by like just talking about this, to be honest, because I've taken a lot of landscapes like this where I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working, why it wasn't as powerful as some of the other ones, and like you're saying, like finding that extra element, and sometimes it's like patience, waiting for someone to ride down that road, maybe waiting for a plane to fly by, maybe just something that's gonna fill up the right side as much as the left, or just yeah, we just I love doing the AMAs because I sort of learn myself because I'm trying to
Like
I'm trying to get better.
the bigger the primary subject it becomes, it means the less other elements can come into the frame. So it is also a compositional rule. But if you can balance it with the primary subject, which is your primary subject, and then you allow the other elements also to come into the frame as well, then it's a beautiful picture. Normally we say that. So I try my best. Either I go for a just one primary subject. I won't allow any other elements to come into that picture. Okay. Or either if I go for the primary and the other elements, then I try to balance it. Then I try to. So we normally
Sure.
doing that way. Yeah.
So to close up on this, right? I'm looking at the top here, and the person put the four photos in the top that are the best photographs, right? So they know that they're the best photographs, and those are the ones that sold. So my ending conclusion here would be to remove these three photographs and find something within your arsenal that you have on your hard drives or the places that you've been after taking our feedback from this that fits more of elements where you have a subject and that's more stand out, and replace those images, right? I would
Mhm.
replace these three images with images that are strong as these, or you could even make your collection smaller. Maybe you want your collection to be six instead of seven, and so you could remove these three and add two. That would be me giving a harsh critique on what I would do, because I think the other images are really, really something else and really quite beautiful. And look at this herd of, I don't know if this is a herd of sheep or,
It
and then
is.
you
It
got
is
the
actually.
people. Yeah, it's a
It is
herd of
because
sheep.
yeah, it is. It is
Beautiful.
beautifully done with the rule of third as well. You can see the mountain in the rule of third as well, and it's a balanced with the sheep on the other side as well. So this is what I'm telling you. This is what we look. I look always, to balance and the compositional rules in the picture, and
Yes.
that's why it's powerful one.
So I'll just say this: you, you as a photographer are too good to be lazy in some of the compositions and some of the frames where you're not adding these extra elements that we know that you know how to do. So either revisit and make that happen, or I'm sure if we looked at your Instagram, or you don't really have time because we're almost 2 hours in and halfway done, that we could find images that we could probably swap out with this. But I
Mm.
mean, great job of finding you know collectors to buy four of these pieces, which are really great. And does the artist have specific questions that we could quickly answer on this?
Well, it's how how did you find the story? How is the price ratio? Is there any obvious mistake I made? I think we have already done that. Story, okay. Well, price ratio is it's fine. It's 0.1, I believe. It's 0.1.
Very
Yep,
fair. Yeah.
very fair. And how did you find the story? So I don't know. Well,
Well, the story I already talked about. Yeah, I don't resonate with this story. There's not enough. I don't think there's enough coming from you about why uh, what gets you lost in the moment of photographing landscapes. And um, it's a very, very small artist statement, but it's a bit confusing to read. And so I think a little bit of help with writing an artist statement would really help.
yeah, yeah, that's good.
Cool. Is that the only
Yeah,
questions?
these are the only questions. Yeah. Price. Yeah, that's it.
Interesting. So the next collection is another Sloika collection. We love the Sloika. And so Lost in White, and this is by I think it's XOSC. I think it's Jose
Oh,
Casal.
Jose. Oh, Jose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jose Casal. Different way to spell it. It's really cool. That's a cool name. Um,
Yep.
and so I'm, I'm very proud. I'm gonna try to read this quickly. I'm very proud to have a signature style with my daylight minimalism, waterscape long exposures. Oh, the long exposures.
Yep.
Um, this is the way I have chose to express my art, and of course, I feel very comfortable doing it. But sometimes, even when you least expect it, magic appears outside of your comfort zone. I totally agree with that. Last February, I planned a snowshoe excursion. My family hired a mountain guide, and my children were super excited. The chosen day dawned with a heavy snowfall, and when we arrived at our meeting point, a spot of 2,000 meters on the French side of what is this?
Pyrenees. Pyrenees.
Pyrenees. A dense fog covered everything. We started our route walking on a meter of virgin snow with hardly any vision due to the fog. It was like entering a huge white hole. After about 20 minutes, the fog began to open up as we entered a small forest. A few isolated trees appeared out of the mist, and what was going to be a family walk turned into a crazy minimalist landscape session. Without planning, without time to check each shot, just drawing on my experience and photography skills, and with an eye on the guide and my children trying not to get lost in the white. So reading this, I felt like I was reading a fantasy novel. And
Yeah.
so this is a great artist statement where I feel highly connected with the work before I even look at it. And so from a collector's standpoint, I'm somewhat of a collector. I'm intrigued. So let's take a look at the work. And so the interesting that he said was something about long exposures, but I don't know
No, no,
why you would.
No,
Uh,
I would just want to add something. Because his first collection was long exposure.
oh,
His
this
first
is
collection.
not. I was gonna
This is not.
say.
Yeah,
I was
he's
gonna
pretty
say.
actually. Jose is one of the finest and very successful NFT artists here, and his first collection on OpenSea was all about long exposure. So that's why he mentioned it,
That's
because
why.
that is completely, because he what he did here this time, it's completely different from what we have seen him doing earlier. So that is
Yeah.
completely different. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know why this would have to be long exposure, so it's not. So this is pure minimalism, and I think it's done. And I think it's done really well. And so the strongest pieces for me in this are actually um, the more minimal and the. I actually like the trees. I think the trees have a certain character to them. I think this one's real beautiful. The price is really really good. There's a price, they're pricing at zero point 0.2. We have a ton of information here, right? We have properties. They're one of ones. And so let's look through. I know one in the collection was collected. This is the one in the collection that's collected. And a very interesting.
This one
We want
was
to look
my
at this one.
favorite. This one was
You
my
like it?
favorite. Walk with me, because I don't know. I like the contrast and the drama, because I also try to capture myself in the nature most of the time, and it attracts me a lot. And this here, what I love is walk with me. It's a storyline, It's a candid moment. It's a candid moment that someone is walking towards the tree. It's not a planned one. It's just a beautiful candid moment that he captured it. He Someone is walking towards, and then the red and the white is creating a different tones and the vibes for me, and it's one of my favorite, actually. And the rule of third is beautifully implied and everything, actually. Yeah.
Sure. I think it's a beautiful image too. I uh, I think there might be one in here that I'd grab over that one, but I definitely I think they're all beautiful. I really like these. Just they feel like character portraits of the trees. Like these trees have their own character, and I can. It's like I can see elements built into this. Like when I was a kid, I remember, you even as an adult, you look into the sky and the clouds form shapes, and it looks like this is
Yeah.
forming some shape. Like I could see like a tree, and it feels like there's almost a reindeer trying to come out the tree. It's just
Exactly.
beautiful. It's just really really interesting. I think these ones that are more minimal are even more interesting to me. Love this. Another one here where it's like it's like a baby tree is bringing birth from a larger tree, mother tree. Another shot like with the people, really great though composition, really beautiful on this one.
This one
This
is
one
my
we
favorite.
yeah, go ahead.
My
Yeah, this
favorite,
one
man.
is yeah
This one
yeah.
is my up and down, man. But like, see, this actually relates to the life story itself. You can actually tell a whole story out of that how one tree is bending and another one is standing tall, and this is what life is about. That sometime you bend, and sometime, and some are still standing tall, whatever. Like he said, the snowstorm was there, the wind was there, and everything. So I related with the life chapters or the life lessons, that okay, some bend down in their life and some still stay tall, stand tall in life, no matter whatever comes to them. So for me, it's a piece that really relates to the life standard and the life to me. For me,
I
that is my
I love how
personal
you
opinion.
yeah. I love how you related that to the different stages in our own life, where sometimes we stand tall and sometimes we have hard times. And this is I find this line to be really interesting here too. Just this like line that kind of cuts the frame between a brighter white and sort of a darker white. It adds depth for me. I like this image a lot. This is another beautiful looking. Maybe it's his family too. You talk about just trying to pay attention to his family, not getting lost in the white. So,
Mm.
like a little beautiful shot. Yeah, these ones are. I think these up close portrait ones for me are my favorite. This feels really fine art to me. I really love
Mm.
this. I love how there's always this standing tall tree, and then either something coming out of the tree or just having its life of its own. Another beautiful sort of still life. Um, just I was gonna say portraits of trees. I mean, I don't think portraits just have to be of people. I mean, trees are alive too, right? And so I think he's shining a beautiful light on these trees and showing their character and age over time through
Like
minimalism. Yeah,
the thing is, it really correlate with the theme he chose. The caption, "Lost in White." It actually feels like Lost in White. It actually. So this is what I
great
love
name.
about the great, the picture he has. I don't know, did he choose the caption first, or then he chooses the pieces, or did he choose the pieces first, then he choose the caption? But whatever it is, he did a great job. It feels like Lost in White. It feels like, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And priced really well, and only one has been sold so far. It seems like there's a lot of just really fantastic collections right now in this AMA on Sloika that are
Hmm.
really well priced and really high quality work that that I think are going to just do just really well. And just props to Sloika for like allowing us to just scroll through the images like this because it takes so much longer for me to do an AMA with OpenSea and Foundation. So really nice question.
I don't know how was the temperature over there for the kid, and for him as well. You know, it must. These are struggling pictures at the same time as well. The temperature, the camera, carrying your camera with you, with the crampons, with the not the crampon, with the ski board, ski clothes, ski gears, and everything. And it is challenging. To shoot in that conditions of nature. But he did a great job. Really did a great job.
Great job. So questions from the artists from Jose.
Okay, from Ozzy, let me just find it out. Okay, what do you think of inclusion of human factor into landscape? Does it work in the case to give sense of scale and adventure? Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. Mhm. I love it, especially in this one.
Hmm.
Yeah,
No
this
doubt,
is
no doubt.
this is surreal to me. This looks like a fairy tale image. It doesn't even look like real life. Like, it just brings me into just a whole nother imaginative space.
Yeah, next question is, this is my first non-long exposure NFT work. Do you think it links with the rest of my body of work? Well, I would say it's it is fine to do that, because I remember I'm a landscape photographer. Mostly when I present myself into in any world, or anywhere, I just present myself as a travel and landscape photographer. But instead of going travel and landscape collection, my first collection was Souls of the World, about portrait and people. Okay, so it is pretty okay to experiment, and it is pretty okay to come up with your different style or different signatures, that you want to present. Of course, if you have done a long enough, just one style of photography, might be some monotonous thing can come. It's just my personal opinion. But if you bring something new to your existing collectors, and to your fan following, or whatever you have, then definitely it attracts a lot. And I don't know, what do you think about it, that if someone is doing a more, he go for a variations?
Yeah, I think you could go for variations. I mean, right now, off the top of my head, I don't know what the long exposure work looks like, and that's fine. But you know, we're artists, right? Like I was talking to someone at a in real life meetup event the other night, and it's like, well, people like to come up to you at in real life events, and like they ask, what do you do? Or like, and this could be like I could say like, oh, I'm a photographer, but that would limit me if I said that. Or I could say, oh, I'm a street photographer, and I feel like that would limit me. So because I like to write too, and I'm also a collector, and I'm an educator in the space, and so I don't think that we need to limit ourselves at all. So if you want to experiment in this type of minimalism, which you did, and you do it damn well, then there should be no problem with that. Now, um, if your long exposure collection didn't sell out yet, then maybe it's a good idea to put the next collection on a different platform. That's my only thing, is like maybe use different platforms for things, if unless they, to keep those, to not bog down your market. No, I think that artists should explore other territory. I mean, like, I consider myself to be mostly not a documentary and street photographer, but I like to experiment in landscape. And what that's done for me is when I go back to shooting portraits or street or documentary, for some reason I consider new things. I consider the background more when I shoot a portrait, because now I'm thinking the background is important, because in a landscape it's important. So why shouldn't it be in a portrait? So yeah, I think it's perfectly fine to jump in
Mm.
and out of genres. And because one day when I have children, I want them to try everything. I want them to try the piano. I want them to try a camera. I want them to go to mixed martial arts, because you don't really know until you try. So that's my answer.
Mm. Okay. Last question here. Is it okay? Yeah. Is it cohesive enough to mix some work with a little of color with other in black and white in the same collection? Means the color and the black and white in the same collection.
And that's collection, yes, works
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Mhm. Sure.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely.
Hmm.
Anyway, is there any more?
Any other questions?
No. No. Only three.
Okay, great. Awesome.
The next one.
It's a great collection. Yes, fire. Um, yep, next one here. Okay, Snowy California by Sid Clicks. So this is a collection of six. This is on Foundation. Let's read the description. My Genesis collection, a collection of one-of-one snowy landscape photos from sunny California. The state has a wide variety of seasons and geography to offer, ranging from the most dry deserts to snow mountains. The collection's dedicated to honor the least popular, I think, season geography of the state, snowy landscapes. It's always of interest to reach these locations and document the beauty of nature in these conditions. And it's tough to do it in these conditions too. Uh, if we
I've
look
never
at,
been there. You know more than me, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
activity, no sales yet. Okay. So let's look at some of these shots. I mean, when I looked at this, the one that stood out to me the most, just looking at this, was this shot here, stormy sunlight, and then this shot here, a desert snow. So, and he priced this one at 1.25. So it's obviously his favorite piece, or he's, done done something. This is absolutely beautiful, beautiful piece, right? Um, yeah, why don't you talk about some of this piece and the elements that
No,
stand out to you?
definitely. I love the see. It's a pure landscaping picture, pure landscaping, and beautiful moment that is captured by him. And what I loved is this this light trail, which is reflecting on the mountain, and on the right side, the light on the lights on the clouds as well. So I would
Yeah.
say that's why he knows very well that this is masterpiece. That's why he priced it really well as well. And for me, it's pure landscaping picture which actually capture a moment and essence of the winter of California. You can say that it's amazing.
Yeah, and so I agree with the pricing on this,
Yeah.
1.25 ETH. I think it's a really good piece. And so the other one that really stood out to me, I think you really like this one too, because of that contrasting tones of the blues and the yellows here.
the yeah
Like a
the
yeah.
warm tones and the warm tones and the cool tones in this picture, it is making surprising me as at the same time as well. The half is the snowed, it's snow capped mountains over there on the backside, and the half is look like a desert, completely rugged and desertic area, which is no snow and nothing. So it actually it creates a drama and attention and everything into that picture as well. So yeah, that's my
Yeah,
second favorite
it's
in here.
probably really interesting to you, because this is California, and so it's like that.
Okay.
There'll be desert like that, and then there'll be snow on mountains too. And so I think it did a great job of showing that.
was
Really,
one photo
really
that
enjoy.
we talked about, like, okay, which I think from that collection we said, uh this
Let's
fourth
talk
one,
about
yeah.
this.
Yeah, yeah, that one. I don't know. As other pictures, if I compare it with the other pictures, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, here the foreground, it's very normal foreground. It's no other elements. Okay, the main primary subject, as I said, the primary subject was, or the primary element was the mountain here, but the other elements here, it's not interesting. It's just frozen lake and the snow. So either in that case is normally what I do. If the anyone any other element is missing, I go and stand in the middle of the frozen lake. I become the element. This is what I do normally in my landscape picture. Whenever I can't find elements in the picture, I become the element in the picture. So
That makes
imagine
sense.
if I'm wearing a yellow jacket, imagine, or the red jacket, and I'm standing on that frozen lake, and then the whole picture and the drama, you know the whole version of the picture goes into another thing. So this is what I suggest normally, but this picture is not as strong as the first two we have seen. So might be we can keep it, or maybe maybe go for, like, burn
Yeah,
it. I don't know, like, up to.
it's also an
Yeah.
interesting. It's it's interesting to choose this crop too, which
Mm.
doesn't quite make as much sense to me. Maybe there are elements outside of that crop. I don't know,
Keep
but I
it,
think you
because,
described it.
well,
Yeah,
like you said, blockchain is burning, would cost again. I don't know, and, like, burning maybe
yeah.
not the good option, not the good advice, but yeah, let's keep it. Let's keep it. Yeah.
And this is another interesting shot. It's I like how it feels very true to nature, but from seeing what the photographer is able to do in some of the other shots, I think this
Mm.
might be a bit too easy for this photographer
Exactly,
shot.
exactly, same.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, I think
You want to talk on this one here?
Yeah, this one again. I see. What actually disturbs me is here is the highlights over there. It actually taking the whole attention. My first, if the moment you open it, whole attention goes on the first highlight part over there. It's too highlighted, it's too bright, and so basically it kills the attention of the trees in front of me. Okay, I will come back to the trees, definitely my eye will come back to the tree, but it takes moment to coming back to the other elements of the photo. And the snow and the fog and everything. So for, like you said, curation is really really important. What you are adding, what you should add, what you should not add into collection. It is very important that we need to talk about it. Like here, this picture, definitely, I won't add it definitely into collection, because it is nice frame, it is nice moment, but the whole attention is actually captured by that highlighted part. Yeah.
Mhm. So the only image that we didn't talk about is actually this one here, which has a really good composition and such.
Yeah,
And
it is. Rule of third, breathing space, and loved it. Actually, loved it. Breathing
yeah,
space is there, rule of third is there, and yeah, the drama and the light is, the cloud moments and the foggy effect and moody effect is there as well. Moody effect. So I think this is nice as well.
nice descriptions, additions. And so, what was the questions from the artist?
Yeah. Okay. Let me see the questions. Okay. What do you mean? This is Snowy, California. Okay. I have set up different prices for the pieces based on rarity. Okay, chance of me or someone recreating the photo. I have come across many collections that that have the same price for each piece in collection. Okay, let me see. Because it's just a minute. Huh?
On
Shit.
Foundation, I feel like it's a little different. I feel like you can have different prices within the collection. I don't know. It feels like
Uh,
Foundation feels more of like a one of one type thing where they just kind of implemented collections, and it's just
it is actually, but again, foundation is still. See, if you ask me, I have the pieces on foundation, and I have the pieces on definitely on OpenSea as well. But foundation is more about my masterpieces are there. The pieces that I'm proud of, the pieces, award-winning pieces of my life. Are our foundation actually. So
Hmm.
definitely adding a collection on foundation, because you are paying the price over there. You're giving a minting fees. You are giving a listing fees over there, and then I can understand the prices that you choose on foundation. It's not as same as the OpenSea prices, and again it's a personal thing, but for me the foundation should be the masterpieces. If you are not on super rare right now, then foundation could be your platform where you present only the best of your work, as a one of one pieces. Again, as a collection, as a collection for one of one, the best one of one for OpenSea, and then Solika could be better. Yeah. So the question is, I have six pieces in the collection today. I'm plan. Okay. Okay. I have about six photos in that collection as of today. I'm planning to add four more photos, but I'm worried if it take out the scarcity of the part of the NFT collection. Thoughts? What do
No,
you
I don't
think
think
on that?
I don't no, I don't think adding more takes away from scarcity because they're one of one images. But I think that there's some in here that can actually be removed and replaced by better images that we know that you could
Mm,
create because we've been
mm.
able to see you create it. So that's my answer now.
Exactly. Well, same I would suggest. If you can burn and then bring some, but bring some of the pieces that he has, from the same location, or from the same area, but with the strong pieces, definitely it wouldn't affect any. But yep, it's adding more pieces. It's not a problem as well, But again, depending on the sales and all. Yeah, I think this is the two questions he has. Yeah,
Questions. Okay, cool.
yeah.
So let's jump on to the next collection then, because it's a big one. 32
Uh,
items.
the next one, okay.
Yeah, it's Facets, Iceland, and very,
Okay.
very, very, very Iceland images.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
quickly, I'll proudly presenting the first collection of my Facet series, a hand-picked selection of some of my career-defining images shot around the globe. The collection consists of 30, so that's a mistake so far because there's 30, actually 32 in here. Maybe because he airdropped. It says he airdropped 31 and 32 down here. All right. Well, collection consists of 30 unique images, which are all one of one. A collection focuses on one of my all-time favorite countries, Iceland. From lava flows and glaciers to intricate braided rivers, the collection encompasses a rich and diverse set of a landscape imagery representing some of my most beloved and refined work to date. I am proud to make these images available for the first time as NFTs. Roadmap for first five collectors receive a fine art print. First two collectors to collect more than one piece will be airdrop 31 and 30, number one, 31 and 32. One sold out. One collector will be randomly chosen. Okay, so 31 and 32. Actually, let's put this in order of oldest. So we can see 31 and 32. These are the airdropped images. And
Okay.
so someone owns this. But cause the reason I'm doing this is because I see that this collection only has two owners. So I'm trying to figure out if those were the ones that they were considering as sold, or if there's any other one. Oh no, this is sold here. Oh, this is my favorite piece in the collection.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
um, this piece is just absolutely insane. It looks like a painting. It's got the elements cut in half of the yellow sand and the blue waters, and then this black up here. Do you know what this black is, Nicole?
Uh, just a minute. Yeah, yeah. I think it's a black sand beach, or because Iceland is famous for the black sand, so it's hard to figure it out, from there, because it's maybe black sand, could be, yeah, yeah,
It's beautiful. Oh
yeah.
man.
It is yeah, one of my favorite as well.
Yeah. So I have it listed as oldest here. So let's take a look through some of these. So he has so many elements. Is the ones we were looking at. Oh my gosh, I love this leading line. It's a gorgeous photograph. He has so many elements of bird's eye view to waterfalls to just top down. Look at this. Didn't see this yesterday. Gorgeous.
No, man, I love the whole. Actually, yeah, this is lovely one. Wow, this is one of the very. I tell you, I've been there because I've been there. It's one of the rare shot. You know, one of the rare shot. I'm gonna be honest with you because I have to be very patient and you have to be very quick. You know, these seagulls, basically these seagulls fly. It's one of the most powerful waterfall, which is called Skogafos, and you have to be lucky. You have to be very quick. You have to be very patient at the same time that
Yeah.
you and it's a sharp one. It's a really sharp one.
I
I
mean,
loved it.
you also probably have to have your camera on tracking autofocus too, because otherwise it's going to be really hard to nail the focus to focus that white bird, which is against a white background. I mean, I think you have to have that continuous tracking where the autofocus points are just staying on him and following that bird. But that's wow, what a shot.
Mm.
0.17. I mean, this collection is it's there needs to be more eyes on this. This work is just unreal, so good. So like this is like one of those collections where I pick because I'm like, why is there no sales? Like, is it you know it when was
Do
this
you,
when was
do
this
you,
minted?
do you want to take the questions because the I think we will cover up in. Okay, so should I?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
please.
my collection is quite large, 30 pieces, and hasn't received the transaction I hoped for. Okay, what is the best course of action in this situation? Patience, uh, more marketing, or first he's asking what is the best course of action in that situation. First, patience, and plus more marketing. Second, burn some pieces. What about the number in the titles of already sold pieces? Okay, so that is
Okay, so that presents a
yeah,
problem when you have the number in the title because
yeah,
if you burn something, then sometimes it messes with the order of the numbers. So
yeah.
first off, you know, you're gonna have to join spaces. You're gonna have to get this in the eyes of more people. You're gonna have to take your favorite images, write a story about them, put them on Twitter, have your friends retweet, showcase other artists within the space. Um, another thing that I've learned is like maybe when we do our drop, we don't drop 32 images all at once. Maybe we only drop 10, and maybe five of those are pieces that are whitelisted. So five are already sold, and then the next five we wait till those sell, and then we add more images. We have sort of a timeline in the way that we drop instead of just collapsing everything in at one time and then falling back on your engagement and marketing and then having something sit stagnant. Now, I just think that this collection just takes literally a few people that have the capital to collect a few pieces, and then this collection will just start to go viral, in my opinion. When that happens, then OpenSea sees it and kind of trends it, and then this whole collection sells out. That's my answer.
Yeah, and the second actually he says, should I wait until sellout or at least 70%, 75% sellout before minting any additional collection? Well, I just want to say in that case, because I am facing, I have faced the same thing, My first collection sold out. I came up with a reflective world with the 30 pieces, if it's already 60% sold out, my 65%, so more than 65% is sold out. But then I went for the even for the third one, Souls of the World 2 part collection. So I think it's up to you again, because I know if I'm stuck for long, it affects my creativity. It affects if it affects my mental health and my creation level, actually. So it's again my personal opinion. I think if it's not selling out, go for it, go for the next collection. Don't wait for it. I don't know, what do you think, Mike? Should we go for this, like, if
So,
it's not
so
selling out?
I have a little bit different of opinion. So like
Yep.
my opinion would be like, okay, so if if this one hasn't sold out. I mean, you only sold two pieces. You have 32. You have 30 pieces to actually not 32 because two of them are airdrops. You have 28 pieces to still sell. If you're going to drop another collection, right? I would first make sure that collection is not landscape, and then I would also make sure that that collection is not also minted on OpenSea. Maybe drop a collection that's out of this genre on a different platform, because then you're competing against yourself and you're flooding your own market, and then now you have to market two different landscape projects. And why would collectors want to purchase from the second landscape project if you couldn't even get any sold in the first? That's my
Fair
honest
point.
opinion right there. I'm just
Fair.
gonna be straight up with you. Yeah, like, and I've made mistakes and I've corrected the mistakes and such. And but if I have a different genre collections, I'd probably you could probably put them on the same platform, but I definitely wouldn't come out with another landscape one on, because what you're saying is these pictures weren't good enough to sell on OpenSea, so now I have to try these pictures, when it has nothing to do with the pictures, because the pictures are phenomenal. It has to do with whatever you're doing in the space. You haven't figured out a way to get eyes on this. This has been out for 2 months and there's zero favorites on these. Like there's no favorites on these. Two favorites, one favorite. This means no one's seeing this collection and it needs to be seen. So if everybody in the crowd today, if you like this work and you think that it deserves to sell at 0.17, go retweet this and talk about it. Quote retweet, say something nice about the work. But ultimately, you as the artist, it's on you to get out and showcase your work, showcase others' work, attend spaces, and make this collection sell, because it's sad to see such a beautiful collection sit stagnant. So that's my unfiltered and honest answer
Honest,
for you.
honest one. Definitely, I love love the way you put it out. Definitely. Okay, so the third question and the last question is: my collection unique enough from a pure photography and visual perspective? Could I maybe benefit from removing or substituting some of the more well-known motifs, like example Skoga Fossa? So that's his third question.
See an image in this collection that needs to be removed. This is a photographer that knows what they're doing in landscape, in a place where you have beautiful landscapes every day. I mean, look at this shot, like frozen in time. Like this is like now like this is beautiful. I don't even know what this is. It's like water that froze in the air above a frozen lake. I don't know. I love it. I think it's great.
Uh,
No, I wouldn't remove any. I don't know. What's your take on that?
No, see, I've been to Iceland 5 times, and it's very very interesting. But to be honest, Iceland is too much out now on in NFT space. I'm not gonna discourage, but yes, it need patience. It need patience. I would say remove it, but yes, this collection, because what I find different in this collection, apart from the other collections, the color tone and the cinematic effect that he has done in this collection is pretty different from the other collections. Mostly the other collections we have seen were mostly the landscaping and different, but there here is the color tone is pretty amazing actually. So this is what I loved about this collection, but I won't say burn it or remove it. Let's keep it. Let's keep it, or maybe just need a little push, like you said. Retweet about this collection, and no, let bring more attention to this collection. And definitely, once it started, because the pieces are really beautiful, really beautiful. And I know some of the places is so hard to go there, and you have to be very lucky with the weather, you have to be like very lucky with all that. It's amazing collection for me.
It's an amazing collection for me too. So
Yeah.
any other questions? Otherwise, I don't think
No,
I have any other help here for this one.
no, it's done. That was the
No,
last question.
I'll tell you that I'm gonna retweet this today, and I'm gonna help you out on
Me
the
too.
tweets. But
I
but
am.
I'm all
I,
but at the same time, I'm also gonna follow you on Twitter and see that you are putting in the work yourself to stay active. So I have you on the wish list. So great work. Okay, thank you. Cool. Next photographer is This is Peace and Wilderness by Ram Zain, right? And so this is
Okay.
10 items, a smaller collection, a very cheap price of 0.08. You hardly see that for one of ones. Let's click on an image first to see if it is a one. Yep, edition one of one. So they're one of one. So 0.08 is a really, really nice price for one of ones. And so Peace and Wilderness is a collection of my travel photos. Some of these pictures belong to my hometown, surrounded by lush green forest and mountains, while they're records of while some are records of my travel in the Himalayan region. Peace and Wilderness are two inalienable parts of what we are made of. Some days we are at peace, while at others we taste wilderness. Um, I was lucky to experience both and lived all those days with my habit of finding peace and seeing new untouched places. I've always been an avid wanderer, visiting undiscovered places and finding eye catching frames gave me an adrenaline rush. No matter how I felt, this always lifted me and kept me going. Presenting an excerpt on all those days of mine when I gave my best and enjoyed the most, where I learned that today is more important than tomorrow. I like that. I like that ending. Today is more important than tomorrow. Here's a little information about the artist, travel and creative photographer, one of ones. It says camera phone. So these are taken on a camera phone. Collection size is bounded to 210. So my initial impressions right off the bat here was that there are some I should have favorited. I'll favorite. Well, no, it wants me to log into my ledger and so. So I have some favorite images in here, 3 or 4 favorite images here, and there's some images here that are just really, I'm sorry, just not as strong as the others. And so we opened up this image here, Freedom of Imagination, and gorgeous. You want to talk about that one? Look at the
This is
circle. Look at the circle
it's
that's created around the boat. Wow.
the beautiful morning, cool tone, beautifully edited and beautifully composed as well. The cooler, I love the shots with the cool tone, because it makes me calm. Actually, it makes me more. I take a time to get myself into the picture as a photographer, so I connect with the piece. Whenever I see the blue, because blue is my favorite color as well at the same time, and I love those cool tones pictures as well a lot. So this is beautifully composed and beautifully edited as well. This picture. That's it.
Absolutely. Completely agree. Love this photograph. That was my favorite one in the collection. And there's another one right here that really stood out to me. I love this one, Peacefully Wild. And something really stands out. I love his posture. I love how his back looks like it's built into the tree and perfectly fits. I also love the legs, how they look like they're part of the branches. It looks like the
Mm,
tree and the color branches become him. Clearly there's a story, an imaginative story that's happening in this shot too. Love it. Love the colors. Wonderful image. Right. Let's see. Let's look around a bit. Let me order this from oldest, because when you order from oldest, it's usually how they wanted it to be presented. It does look better like this. Okay. And so let's see this shot here, reminiscence of childhood. Another beautiful shot that has feeling and emotion and
a
also,
beautiful shallow
yeah,
shallow depth of field as well. It's completely focused on the kid, and the other kids behind is bokeh effect. Like normally you do in the portrait and the street photography. Shallow depth of field, and it's beautifully done as well.
how's he doing that on the iPhone though? I know there's a portrait mode, but it doesn't work this well when someone's running through water, right? Maybe that's
Yeah,
post.
maybe after post processing, little bit of post processing, but it is beautifully done. I
Yeah,
don't know, I don't know much more about phones, but yeah, these days phones can do that. The portrait mode you can shoot with the bokeh, with the beautiful shallow depth of field as on
sure.
the phones as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another shot stood out to us, right? Um, and then let's see. Did we? I don't know if we opened and looked at this one. Uh, yeah,
It is
nice.
nice one. It's a beautiful, the person is adding actually, like I said, when you don't have anything, other elements, you can go and stand as a picture, and you can create a drama, you can create a story lineup over there, and this is what he has done over there, and it's a nice decent picture actually. Yep.
Yeah,
Seems,
good,
yep.
good, good example. A
There
good
is one
example. Well
picture
said.
which I wanted to talk, yeah, that one, the person with the, yeah. See, this picture is so beautiful. It's so beautiful, but it's just a missed in processed in post processing. It's too much highlighted over there. Like little bit of, like the highlights are
So bright.
too so bright. Actually, it is killing
Killed
the
the
whole
trees.
feel trees. I mean, the whole feel of the picture actually. So I might be, I don't know, using phone, or maybe if he's good with the post processing or not, or maybe, but this is amazing picture, the story lineup and the trees in the line as well. So beautifully composed, but only thing that missed here is the post processing here, and that ruined the shot, kind of, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think it's a beautiful moment in composition where he's like walking into the mist, and that says a lot to me. It's a gorgeous story. I just can't get past these palm trees just looking like really degraded in quality, and a lot of this has to do with like the overexposed highlights here. And on my phone when I shoot, I probably would have shot this shot by clicking in the area of one of these trees, or maybe even clicking in the sky area and letting the camera meter based on that rather than metering based on this. Um, because it's always easier to pull up shadows than it is to to gain your highlights back. That's what I've
Exactly.
noticed.
Yeah.
So that's something that I would have done there. Then there's we looked at this image, and
um yeah.
right, while there's a story going on here with this gentleman, and he's in this sort of like tree house looking, not tree house, this hut that's built from trees. I get it, but it took me a little while when I looked at the image to even see this person or understand the positions. The shadows are too dark. Also, there's just a lot of negative space up here that makes no sense to me. I would have probably gotten lower and closer to my subject here. So, from a compositional perspective, I think the choice could have been better. From a storytelling perspective, I like it. How
Yeah,
about
see,
you?
but what I see in that picture, the detailing actually. See, when you say the lost in wilderness, it's nice. Like you mentioned that guy, but he's busy on the phone. This is a distraction point. This actually doesn't suit to your theme actually. When the person is busy on the phone and you're trying to show that lost in the wilderness, or maybe lost in, then it actually doesn't go really well with that. If he wasn't watching the phone, if he wasn't, maybe doing some, just, enjoying the nature, that would be the different thing. So we have to be very careful when we are shooting on something or theme. Then I definitely, like you said, I would skip that shot, from that collection. I wouldn't definitely
Yeah.
add, yeah, this one, because it is actually going into other direction.
Sure. And so we know what this photographer could do because we see
Yeah.
it here in Freedom of Imagination, and we see it here in
Mm,
Peacefully Wild and Reminiscence of a Child. And
mm,
then I go to an image like, like this, like Miles to Go, and
mm,
I'm a bit confused as to, your story here. I mean, obviously we have a subject out here, and I'm confused at the direction he's walking in because the leading lines are going, and
mm,
it's weird with the leading lines. There's a lot of negative space.
mm,
It borders on minimalism, but not minimalism, and borders on trying to be fine art, but doesn't exactly work as fine
mm.
art. It's a bit hard for me. Maybe you can expand on how you feel about this shot.
Yeah, see, the, like you said, when you try to capture a leading line, you have to put something that leads directly to the subject. Here it's not directly. Here it's completely a different direction, different thing. And like you said, here negative space is a lot here, a lot of negative space, and this is not attracting. This is not actually. eye capturing, where it oblige me to see something, but frankly, it is a moment that he tried to capture, but I would definitely avoid skip that one also in that collection.
Yes, same,
Yeah.
same. And so let's take a look. Well, we have another snow image, right? Maybe
Yeah.
the snow images feel a little out of place here in this collection, just in general,
A lot
right?
of unwanted elements here, frankly speaking,
Yeah,
I would say, I always suggest, go for it, but you have to be very careful what you've put it in the frame. You have to be very careful with the wanted elements and the unwanted elements. If you see it on the right side, these branches and the little bush here, the tree is coming here, these are all distraction actually, so it's okay. It's a beautiful moment that you want to capture in the snow, but unwanted elements are a lot here actually. Unwanted elements. So
yeah. And so let's talk about how, this doesn't have any unwanted elements. It feels like every
mm,
element in this image is
mm,
thought out and executed perfectly. Um,
mm,
and the same goes for this. So we know what you can do.
mm,
We know what you can do. So don't just try to meet it the number 10 because it's an even number within a collection by adding images that you know um, you know you might not consider as strong. You have a bunch of different weird price points here: 0.08, 0.05. I actually think this one for 0.05 is better than all of these ones that are 0.08. um, 0.15, clearly I think that's the hero image in this, and that makes sense to me. But the multiple price thing is a bit confusing to me. And then you've made this one also 0.15. Let's take a look at this. We didn't take a look at this big yesterday when we went over the collection. And there's a beautiful thing happening here with a man with like a man or woman with a blue jacket under the
mm.
tree. um, I do like the overarching sort of elements in this, but I begin to wonder: is there too many? Is it too
Is it too
distracting?
much?
Does it
Is it
work?
is is it too much? It is actually
Yeah,
overlapping. It is actually overlapping. It is, if it's a smaller one, just half of it, then it would be giving more attention and more drama to this tree and the man over there. But now it's too much actually. The
sure.
the proportion of these two branches are more actually. It's heavy, heavy.
Yeah, and so maybe if there was a branch coming from the left side here,
Mm,
and it was like a branch with no leaves that was just more dead, and it came across this in a way that was like circular to the tree, and maybe wow, we can have something really beautiful. But I don't know. This is just a little bit too I don't want to use the word sloppy. Yeah, maybe you can even clone out if you're not considering the stuff documentary. You can clone out some of this,
mm.
and just have like this branch, or something.
I would have, I would
But
have, I would have
go
given
ahead.
some space to breathe between the tree and this branch. The right side branch. See where the trees end. Just above the tree, there's a branch. So the breathing space is less. Your subject always needs some breathing space, to stand out, to pop. If it's a primary subject, to pop out, so definitely uh,
There's really something happening here in this crop that I made. Like I don't enjoy this piece because I
uh,
couldn't get it out, but like this is where the moment lies for me. You
mm,
know,
hmm,
and it
exactly.
gets lost. It gets lost a bit
Mm,
with
mm,
all these other factors that are coming in. And
yeah.
understand that this is just two people with two opinions, and someone else might really really
Yeah.
resonate with that shot. But we have to
Mm,
give our opinions because we're the conductors today of the critique. So the bird eye view, peace and wilderness on this bird eye view. Um, this is interesting. How do you feel about this shot? I'm torn between not knowing whether or not I like it or not. It's maybe if they were all walking in the same direction, but I don't
mm,
understand the shape of this one and the
mm,
shape of this one. Um,
mm,
but I love the last girl, the first girl. and I love this girl here. It's just the three shapes in the middle here are shaped in figures that I
I
don't
think
understand the
I
direction of their movement and stuff. I don't know how I feel.
I believe this picture is not meant for vertical shot.
Hmm.
It is for horizontal. When you turn the picture, imagine if you just take a screenshot of the picture and then you turn it into
Yeah.
horizontal.
Hmm.
That for me it's a horizontal shot. It's I don't know, vertical shot. For me it's because people I don't I never watch the people in that way. People working in I have seen, but here it's not really going to me, that hitting my heart and mind and then my eye. Maybe if I turn into little bit of vertical turn, it's 90 degree, or 90-degree left side, and then make it horizontal, might be I get it. But anyway, like, it is different from the other shots, very completely different from the other shots,
Yeah.
like. So you want to take a question, because I think it's the
Let's
he
take the
has.
questions, please.
Yeah. the I
Thank
think
you.
we have covered up, because he wanted to know how you want to scale from 1 to 10 the whole collection. 1 means lowest, 10 means highest. So I think that's that's
That's a, that's
very.
an inch. That's an interesting way to put us on the spot. But okay. So what would I rate the collection between 1 and 10?
Yeah.
At this point now, with the images all kept in place like this,
Mm,
I'd probably rate the collection between a 6 and a 7.
uh,
And I think that if you could remove, like let's say the collection had this shot, a freedom of imagination, peacefully in the wild, reminiscence of childhood,
mm,
um, you know, mountain dream even,
mm,
and
mm,
a few more that had that strength. I
mm,
I I would probably lean more towards 8 plus or something if you can pull off all of that. But in the situation that you have right now, I
mm.
think you need to look in your archives and find more images that are hitting in that way. And I think
Uh,
you know the one. Yeah, I think he knows the ones that are really good. He prices them high. So
Yeah, I think second question we have already covered it. Do you find any scope of improvement in my collection? Please mention the area. What do you think need to be improved? I think this is done. Now the third question: landscape photographs have not been much in demand in NFT space. How can we make our art recognized so that its demand increases among buyers? So
I don't agree with that.
yeah,
I don't agree.
yeah,
I don't agree with people.
yeah.
A lot of artists come and say, well, I shoot still life or I shoot wildlife, and it's not selling in this space. No, it's not true. I've seen every genre sell in this space. It has more to do with the artist's
Mm,
curation, the artist's
mm,
involvement within the community. If
mm,
people love you and they love your work, and you love your work and you stand behind your work, it will sell, no matter what genre it is. It doesn't matter. I've seen poetry sell in space. I've seen
mm,
just written poetry sell just writing on a piece of paper. So,
mm.
yep. So I don't subscribe that to the fact that any genre does not fit in the space right now. So
No,
that's my
no.
answer.
I agree. I agree. I agree. You have enough said, definitely, and I think I agree to that as well.
Okay.
I think these are the three questions. Yeah, done.
Sure. And so then last collection we're on.
Uh,
This is the last.
last collection. Let me
Yeah,
just
because
check
this is
that
just
one.
is just my watch list. This is just my OpenSea stuff that I like that I watch.
Okay.
You guys didn't know you could create watch lists for projects on OpenSea, and I follow the floor prices in the 7-day volume and what they've done in the last 24 hours. So I base this on what I'm gonna purchase. This is the best way you can do it. You can add your stuff to a watch list.
Okay.
So
This one
yeah,
is Vietnam. Yeah. Yeah.
Vietnam is a land of happy people.
Oh
Um,
man.
Want to switch it up? You want to read the artist statement on this one, or you feel comfortable?
Okay. Oh, you can you can go.
I'll read it. I'll read it. I'll read it. So it's
Yeah.
my native language. Fine. All right.
Yeah.
About in this collection, you will see the lives of the happy people of Vietnam. Before I set off, I was aiming to return from Vietnam with different photographs than everyone else. And I'll just stop and say that's a great intention. That when you go somewhere that um, that you should spend time with yourself in the space and create images that come from you rather than trying to create images from others. So for this reason, I wanted to see and photograph traditional and daily life people rather than tourist attractions, museums, temples. Vietnam, whose name was only mentioned by wars until recently, has recently become one of the popular holiday centers in the world with its vast rice fields, mystical temples, and magnificent historical ruins. Um, and then you just have the word took here, so you have a mistake here, maybe.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it is an important country, especially for backpackers. Before I forget, Vietnam has the lowest crime rate. I don't think you need to say before I forget. I think you should just say Vietnam has the lowest crime rate and safety country and safest country among Asian countries. Um, the collection consists of a total of 10 photographs. Each photo is 0.25. So yeah, I'd work on this artist statement a little bit. I like what you're trying to say, but there's some stuff where it's like, where you say before I forget, which is like there's just some things that we say sometimes that we don't realize kind of shows a lack of confidence in what we're saying sometimes. And so can remove some of those things. And this just took here that you put. So you can remove that. But I love what you're writing about, and what the pictures are. I think there's some really beautiful, beautiful pictures here. I'm just looking at this right here. There's two that really, really stand out to me: Vietnamese children in rice fields. Let's open up Vietnamese children, and gorgeous,
Wow.
right? You like this one?
See, like he said, Vietnam. See, I'm gonna say few things first before I start. I've been to Vietnam. It's one of the most, my dream destination. I would love to go back. It was my dream destination. I went for a proper project of ethnic tribes. I wanted to shoot ethnic tribes of Vietnam, but I realized over there the people are so happy. Whatever the kind of life they are living,
Wow.
either they are street sellers, or the ladies selling fruits on the street, or the hawker, or whatever you can say. The people are so welcoming. I think, Mike, you should go, because you do portraits and street. It's one of the country that you would love it. I don't know if you've been there or not, but it's you'll fall in love with that country. And like he said, Vietnam is a land of happy people. That is so true. I'm the living example. I'm telling you that on that. And like this photo, like you said, is a land of happy people. It
Love
proves
it.
it. It
I
proves
love it.
this
Yeah.
picture this picture proves it. And of course, children are always the fun to capture. They don't care about a lot of things like we do in our life. This is the age to have fun, and this is the moment that moment he captured, which suits to his caption. Vietnam is a land of happy people, and this is the happy
Yeah.
moment that he captured. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the age to have fun. I'm having fun doing this right now, though.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm 38. You still have fun. This is a great image. I love it. I love that the kids on the left are just jumping off. This kid's like he's in his backflip. His friend with the green shorts is looking at him, impressed with his backflip. The
Mm,
reflections of the palm trees. Wonderful
mm.
image. It all comes together really well. Um, Another shot that really stood out to me was this with this rice fields one. You were talking to me in a call about how you've seen these rice fields, and
See,
is this? Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, please. Sorry. Sorry. See, these are the beautiful moments. These people, those who work on the rice fields. They go into the rice fields. They walk a lot, and the women you're seeing here, they are wearing the ethnic tribes. These are the traditional dresses over there. This is the beauty of Vietnam right now, because I was literally surprised. It's not just a country with a landscape, or or would you say it's a country with the cultural aspects as well. You can see so much culture around you when you are traveling over there. You'll be surprised by the cultural beauty, by their cultural things that they still carry and continue right now. We are in the generation where we 21 generation where we are forgetting everything, with the social media and all that. But these people are keeping this tradition and the culture alive by following or by wearing these dresses and sorry, these dresses and all. So it is one of the beautiful picture that I loved it, because I was very unlucky with the weather of capturing these green rice fields and rice paddies actually. But it's one of my favorite here. One of my favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, well, let's just look through. Let's look through the collection. Yeah, this is a really nice shot. Really nice shot as well. Let's just go through some of these. And you
Wow.
see, so when I saw this photo, right, Vietnamese students, I thought to myself, these are students, really, or he's just taking a picture of these really beautiful women. But then you broke it down to me and you said that these are student uniforms there in Vietnam. So go ahead and talk about this, please.
Yeah. These are. Well, see, I met when I was traveling there. I met the students over there. They are wearing these hat. These are Vietnamese traditional hats. I loved it. I loved it. The whole actually attributes and the elements of traditional dresses and everything, and these are the dresses of normally of students over there, white and blue. But again, it's depending on the region where you are, I believe. And then again, the colors also depending on the institutes and all, and the colleges, I believe. Yeah, but these are the real dresses of
Yeah,
students over there. So
yeah.
lovely. Yeah.
I also want to reiterate to everyone listening that this is not just a landscape AMA. This is a travel and landscape AMA. So you could clearly see that we're talking about travel now. You know, now
Mhm.
some maybe there's some landscapes within this, but this is under a very travel genre. I think this fits very well within the idea of travel. Beautiful,
Wow.
beautiful picture, and you know more about this
See,
space than me, so I want you to talk about this. I
yeah.
obviously there's a lot of joy and beauty in this shot, but I want you to break down this image, please.
I think he's completely focused on the theme and the caption. Vietnam is the land of happy people, and he tried to show that, and he actually, this is what the beauty of the collection, that when we see these collection, when the photographer try to convey a message or a storyline up, that okay, I'm trying to bring you a collection where it shows the people are so happy from this land, and he curated only those moments which actually represent that caption. So this is one. And the second thing is definitely the ethnic tribes, the dresses I was talking about, these traditional dresses as well. And so maybe I'm mistaken, but when I was there, I have learned the color you see, the tissue they normally wear on the head, that represent their ethnic tribes. So different colors means different ethnic tribes. So
Wow.
there are many ethnic tribes. I was in Sapa, north of basically Vietnam, where I was trying to capture and documenting the ethnic tribes over there. I spent a month in the local villages, without any guide, and the language barrier was there. So I got to learn from the locals that you have to see how can they recognize which ethnic tribe it is. It's by the hat or by the color of the, this on the head they wear. So different colors means different ethnic tribes. So that's how we figure it out. But it's a beautiful moment, candid moment that captured by him, with the, I think that's a mom and two daughter. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful family moment.
great. Thank you
Lovely.
for the breakdown on that. I like the shot's joyful element to a little girl jumping up, and you know what these what she's carrying here is like a huge
I
leaf.
think this is banana. No, these are banana trees leaf, or maybe these are the
Yeah.
banana, or maybe I'm not sure. Really, maybe I'm wrong. Or the palm. No, palm tree. No, these are not the palm tree. No, banana tree look
Oh,
like. Yeah, maybe.
yeah. Shot.
Yeah, again, beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. This is really beautiful.
See
Mother.
again.
It looks like mother-daughter moment,
See, I see. You wearing. You see the hat. She's wearing the different colors. So that's what it represent and define, your ethnic tribe, or from which ethnic group you belong, basically. So this is what I learned actually from that from Vietnam when I was there. So it's a beautiful moment he captured again.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to be technical, I don't like this element over here. It looks like a foreign, like a foreign, not a foreign, a foreigner from the land here with a camera. As in,
Mm,
maybe it's the other photographer that he's with. I probably would have burned. Uh, I
mm,
probably would have darkened and burned this a little bit. It
yeah.
pulls from the story. It pulls from the story from me. My eye did go there because there's a lot of light and stuff coming here. It looks like he has a camera with a camera strap. It's just being, I love the photograph, but just being like, um, sometimes the littlest changes do a really big thing.
Like I said, unwanted elements. You have to be very careful with the wanted and the unwanted elements. That you want to take in the frame. So like
Sure.
you spotted one. You spotted one that okay, we should avoid that one. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And I don't think it's wrong to bring down the shadows in here to the point where that unwanted element
Mm,
is not
mm.
distracting me. That's beautiful.
They do a lot there. They do a lot. Kids actually ride these buffaloes and ride these even these male buffaloes and the female buffaloes. You can say that, but they do a lot. Even I tried to capture a few over there. I have some shots in my hard drive as well, but they enjoy it. They literally enjoy it. So basically, there's the job of the kids over there. They guide these. They spend a if it's a school off, they're not going to school. Basically, they go to school, uh, but when it's off, the parents just tell them to follow or guide these herds of buffaloes. So it's a beautiful moment. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shallow depth of field is there, and
Perfect.
loved it. Yeah.
No unwanted elements, really. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
There is.
another beautiful shot. It's a little bit similar to the kids jumping in the water, but it's different, obviously. But it's the same background. It's good. It's a good image. I like it. I enjoy it.
It is nice actually. We call it a radical symmetry basically, Mike. Whenever you have the reflection and you have this radical, the circular kind of formation in the water. So we call it a radical reflection or radical symmetry as well. So it's
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 interesting
nice
because it's a
actually.
circle. It's a circle within a
Circle,
square frame,
yeah.
which makes it nice. And these guys, what are they coming back with? Are they coming back with buckets of water,
Fishing,
or
fishing,
oh,
maybe fishing or some.
wow, cool, interesting
Not
image.
sure, not sure, but
Mhm.
maybe yeah.
And
Lovely,
so this is
lovely.
this is the this is the last image in the collection, and I always tell people, when you build the collection, it's a great idea to start strong with the first image to be really strong and to end strong. You should always start strong and end strong. And if you relate
Mm,
that to filmmaking, to major motion pictures, usually you have pretty strong opening scenes, and the endings are usually really strong. And so the elements within the middle should also be strong, but they should really punch at the beginning and the end. I think this is a really strong ending shot here. Love the lights coming through here. Love the fire, adding this extra atmosphere with the smoke and um, I don't know if these are mother daughter whatever, but I'll just say from my own narrative, mother daughter in the background and staring at the mother daughter in the front. And the expressions are all really beautiful. The costume is great. I even love the little blue down here that just complements with these colors, the reds, and yeah, gorgeous shot. You want to talk about that
yeah.
one?
See, frankly speaking, the whole drama, the light reflecting, passing through, and then the fire is in the house, and see, Mike, one of the best thing that about travel photography is it actually teaches you a lot of life lesson. We we complain a lot in our life. I believe that, and I was the one person who complained a lot in my life, a lot, for
Me
years
too.
and
Me
years,
too.
for years and years. But when we go down to the ground reality, when we see people who's having less than us and still happy and still welcoming, and I start asking question to myself, why I'm not happy, why I'm not doing this to myself, having everything and not happy, and having sometime lesser and then happy. It's all about choices. So this picture actually evokes emotion in me, a lot, because I've been there in Sapa. I was following these ethnic tribes, and I know how they live over there and how happy they are. So I think he captured the beautiful emotions of happiness of the people over there of the Vietnam, and it suits really well to this collection. And I wish that this guy sell out. I really pray for him that because these are the beautiful pieces, Or
Yeah,
if it's not, I would love to grab something when I have some eat, man. I would love to.
for sure. Me
Yeah,
too. And
yeah, yeah.
I totally relate with you on that about it's sometimes you see the people that have the most, and especially have the most material things, and they're the most unhappy. And then you go to these indigenous places. Like I've spent time in the Amazon recently, and then you see these people that live with so much less, and yet they're happier on a day-to-day basis without having all of these things that people think that they need to have to be and become happy. It's interesting because it's like it makes that's why I think travel is so important, to just alter that perspective, and be able to come back to your mainland with a new perspective on how you should appreciate already the things that you have. So you puts that into momentum of, if you appreciate what you have, then more sort of comes. It's all perspective, and like perspective is reality. So I totally
This is
echo what
this
you're
is
saying.
this is what we say. Someone asked me why NFT. This is why NFT. This is why. And
Yeah.
someone said why photography. This is why photography is
Hmm.
needed. Someone go out there, capture those emotions, those stories, and we need to learn. We need to realize. We need to actually learn from those stories and those moments of the those moments of life. So this is why NFT and this is why photography. I just in brief I say that. Yeah.
That's great. Did the
Yeah.
did
So,
the artist have any questions? The prices
so
are really
yeah.
fair.
Did
What's
I
the
did I
question?
make did I make the right pricing? That's the first question. And the second
Good.
question, I'll ask you, but I don't get it actually. If I can't upload the collection to a new NFT page, will it be difficult for me to sell? I didn't get that question. Second
Um,
question.
if I say again, I'm sorry. One more.
If I can't upload the collection to a new NFT page, okay,
Okay.
will it be difficult for me to sell? I don't get it, maybe
I think I get the question. It's like,
get
all
it?
right. So I think he's saying like, uh, maybe he's saying if it doesn't sell on Sloika's platform, and he doesn't have
Okay.
the ability to move the project to
Mm-hmm.
another platform. I mean, it's just
Mm-hmm.
a choice that you made, right? It's like Sloika's a great platform, and if it doesn't sell, it's not because it's on Sloika. It's just because of like your community involvement, or your way of building relationships and getting the work out there, telling the story behind the work. So I mean, I wouldn't focus on something that's like, I think it's a bad idea to focus on negative aspects when like that, when you should be focusing on like, oh, you're on a fantastic platform with bulletproof contracts. Everything is laid out beautifully on here for photography, and so now how can I get this photography in the eyes of more people? What can I do for the community that I'm really great at, that can shine a light on my qualities and how I can be helpful to other people, and stuff like that. I would focus more on that. I think maybe that was the question. That's been the best answer that I could give for that. This collection selling out in one day on Sloika right now, so I don't see there being an issue. And we were getting some eyes on it today, and so we'll get some retweets out. People in the crowd will retweet some of these collections for us, please, because the goal in the whole thing here with us being in Web3 and all this is like that. As artists, we don't have to call. At least one day we won't have to say that we're starving artists anymore. That we can make a living, or somewhat of a living, off of selling our work. And so
Mhm.
this is a reason why we do this. And so like, that's why I say like, please, if you're in the audience, you're listening, enjoy the work. It only takes a few minutes or it only takes a second to retweet. It only takes a couple of minutes to quote retweet and say something nice about it, but it could go a long way for people who have put the time and effort into their craft of creating the stuff over years, and then also the time and effort into curating a project and putting it onto a platform like Sloika, which has a strict vetting process and a lot of properties and stuff like that. So yeah, we're here to support each other. I think I'm going to end on that and say, I think this is one of the best AMAs that I've been in so far. I came into it thinking, oh, travel and landscape. Like I'm mostly street and documentary, and so how am I going to talk about travel and landscape? But Meta Girl said something about having this contrast between maybe someone who's not big in a certain genre teamed up with a co-host that is, and I think that it worked really really well today, because I mean I tried to speak more from like a philosophical standpoint or building relationships sort of standpoint and break down the images myself too, whereas I let you take the lead on breaking down some of the images and these places that you have been, because you've been to so many countries. So I appreciate your time, Nicole. You did absolutely amazing. I see you doing more AMAs in the future. If you're up for it, I really would love for that. And yeah, thanks so much. And the platform MetaJungle, of course, always providing this platform for education, which is truly huge in this space. And we saw today sales have already been made in these collections from Alpha for just being in the AMA and being quality work. And yeah, and just this support and is tremendous for us right now in Web3, where we can make a living off of what we love. So yeah, thanks again, Nicole.
Oh, no, thank you. My pleasure. That Meta Jungle, and of course, it is my first AMA, and I'm looking forward to do more. Of course, to review and even whatever I have learned in those 10 years of photography. And I know that okay, there are everyday people are coming and joining. When I joined the spaces, I wasn't lucky that much. You shouldn't have started a collection with the 40 pieces, with the good descriptions. We were doing mistakes, and thank God now Meta Jungle is here. People like you and Alpha and many who's actually educating us on the regular day, on the regular basis, so that people can avoid mistakes, and it becomes more and more easy for people to understand what is NFT, why is NFT, and it is beyond sales and it is beyond money. And now actually, so these aspects that we need to learn, and MetaJungle is a part of that, bringing not just the sales but even the feelings and the aspects of the NFT, that it is beyond money and beyond all that. So small details we need to discuss here, and that this is why I'm here and you are here, and I'm glad to be a part of that. And man, thank you for this beautiful space as well, and thank you for
Yeah,
for for bearing me as well. I did miss some, maybe this is my first
no,
AMA,
you
might
did
be.
really really good. You did really really good. Really really great. Actually, this is, like I said, I think this is one of the best AMAs that I've been in. So, if anyone is there any questions in the crowd from the chat that like maybe we didn't get to address just before we jump off and collect our POAPs? Goon or Boss Mom, you guys see anything there? I wasn't able to pay attention to the full chat. Okay,
I don't think there were any questions that really didn't get answered. I asked one
cool.
about the people of Vietnam, if they wear the colors associated with the head dresses too, or if to signal what culture they're from, or if it's just the headdresses. Because if you notice, like they're wearing blue, and then the people wearing red are wearing red as well.
See, what I have learned, I'm not sure about it, but this is just my learning from while traveling over there, because I was documenting on the ethnic tribes of Sapa. I was in the north of Vietnam. There's a place called Sapa, and it's very famous for the ethnic tribes. So those ethnic tribes are recognized by their dress codes over there. And every time I met, so they were wearing the different these head scarves or over the head, So that's how my local, where I was not the guide but the local guy, it happened to be speaking English little bit over there, so he was explaining me these things, all that. But yes, sometimes they do mixtures of ethnic tribes and all that. But this is what I've learned, that okay, if you want to recognize, or if they want to know someone which ethnic tribe they are from, normally it's what comes from the dress code and the scarf all over the head as well.
Well, how awesome. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you answering that, but I just wanted to say
You
I really
You
appreciate
should
both of you
go.
guys.
You should go. You should go.
Yeah.
Everyone. I say, once in a lifetime. This Vietnam. This is one of the happiest country, and I'm really looking forward to go back again, because I wanna do more and more research on that. I would recommend just one photographer if you haven't heard about him, Mr. Rehan. Just follow him on Instagram, or maybe on, I don't know, he's on Twitter or not. Mr. Rehan, he's a French photographer. He spent 18 years of his life. I went. My reason of going to Vietnam is to personally meet him, because I was very obsessed by his work. So he's a French photographer. I speak French also. So I met him in Vietnam. And he's the one he's the one photographer that has really protected this culture of ethnic tribes. He documented more than say 400 or 300 ethnic tribes over there over the 15-16 years. He's even featured and awarded by the National Geographic, by many big contests and all that. He's a amazing work. You will He opened the museum over there, to protect these ethnic tribes culture and artifacts and everything, actually, Mr. Rehan.
Thanks for that, Nicole.
Yep.
So I'm gonna end by saying this. If you guys are gonna contribute in the crowd by retweeting or tweeting or quote tweeting about some of these artists from today, please tag MetaJungle and me, and tag Nicole, so that we could retweet your tweet, or we could quote tweet your tweet, because we can bump the algorithm and get more eyes on it. No. So
Yep.
thanks everyone for being here today. If no one has anything else, cool. I'm gonna disconnect my session now.
All right. Thanks,
Okay,
Mike.
guys.
Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Take care.